You know what's crazy about the first two parts of this video? Those are actually from my YouTube. From at least a couple of years back. Maybe 3, I don't know. But yeah, they hardly any traction because you know how YouTube is. And even back then, I named it Real Life Aliens, aka Cavemen. Because I didn't want to insult anybody. I didn't realize how far gone these people have become as a people overall, and I didn't know that there's this agenda against the gods and the people of the gods and the natives, and they had this post-human agenda. I didn't realize how it was like that because I've had plenty of white friends, plenty of Latin friends. I am part Latin, I am part white. That's why. I think that's why God led me to this character that symbolizes me. And he's, if you know his story, he's mixed with the Nephilim stuff. So it's mixed with this stuff now. So I guess that's how. I guess that's how it relates. He has to kind of pick between humanity and the Nephilim. But yeah, let me tell you a little bit more about the Gutians. If you want to learn about the truth about your history, how there actually were black people originally, and not necessarily black, but people of color in all these places. Like they were in Italy before they came and took that, Pakistan. They were in Greece, and I'm part Grecian, part Spanish, part Cuban. I got a lot of that kind of stuff in me. And then the Cubans, obviously, they were colored. That's why, they have a little racism there where they let the lighter complected people come over to America first. Palestinians, Iran, Sumer, Iraq, Egypt. Check it out. This page is kind of hard to find if you don't know what you're looking, but pretty much the link's right here. Let me talk about these Gutian people. They were a tribe from northern central ranges, Zagros Mountains, that overran southern Mesopotamia when the Akkadian Empire collapsed approximately 1154 BC. Sumerian sources portray the Gutians as barbarous, ravenous people. Gutium, or Sumeria, in the mountains, presumably the central Zagros, east of Babylon and north of Elam. Gutium is also mentioned based in modern-day Kurdistan. The Sumerian king list represents them as ruling over Sumer for a short time after the fall of the Akkadian Empire, and paints a picture of chaos within the Gutian administration, just like when they take over any location. Next to nothing known about their origins. Gutian appear in old Babylonian copies, inscriptions, blah blah blah. Contemporary Akkadianite went into decline. The Gutians began to practice hit and run tactics of Mesopotamia. Basically, this is like the Golden Age and stuff like that, or the Bronze Age. They're the same people that basically ruined like all the great empires. Like, they're the people out of the sea. They're the kingdom, the people out of the sea, you see? Like, it's literally got to do with Julius Caesar, it's got to do with Rome. Rome was ruling Egypt for a while, and then Greece under Alexander the Great had got involved there too, you see? And as far as the Egyptians were concerned, these are the people that just came out of the sea. It's the beast out of the sea. Pretty sure it's the same people the Bible's talking about, and it's because they're the same people causing problems to today. We all know about Rome being a big factor in there, and that's what Latin means. Latin is the Roman language. And when they killed all the natives here with the filthy stuff under their skin, just like they did in North America, they forced the natives that that survived and they had mixed with. That's why there's so many pale people down there now. that, to speak their language and all that kind of stuff. And it's really wicked what they've been doing down there or whatever. All right, so let me just continue. All right, dedicating with the clan, Gushins begin to practice hit and run tactics. It's the same thing they did to take over Rome. That's why, like, basically all these places started out black, like England, all that shit. Like, let me turn this down a little bit. It's a little too loud. But yeah, it's a feminine tactic because these guys are kind of feminized for whatever reason. I don't know why. And it's passive. That's what women are really good with. They're good with passive things, better than men actually, because it's more their nature. It's more natural for them. I guess that's why they say you gotta embrace like the passive, the female, and the active, the male, like the active energy. You see what I'm saying? Because that's how, it's kind of related to how my outpouring spirit goes. It constantly works for me. I don't even have to focus on it. It's passive for me. That's why my third eye is constantly open. In case you don't know about that, that's what this video is about. And I showed, you see that thing in the middle of my forehead? I'm just showing some of that kind of stuff. I'll show you that in a little bit. I'll just get this part done before I show you a little bit about me and why I know so much, and who I am, and why I've taken offense to this. I mean, if you would imagine, if you know the Hindu story, you know why I don't like these anti-God type people. You're going to see how anti-God they are and why they're atheists to this day, not Luciferians. I mean, they are Luciferians. Luciferians are basically just these fallen angel people. They're worshiping their forefathers, basically. And really, they just worship themselves because, they also have some, factors that relate to heaven. They're fallen angels and all that stuff. You saw the earlier parts. But anyway, so they did the hit and run tactics, same just like the barbarians did to take over Rome. And then they started running them from the background. That's why they always have, at these Mason places and all that, they always have these underground locations where they worship these creatures. And that's why they go out in the woods and worship these creatures. I keep telling you, these are little monsters we're dealing with. That in the book of another version of Genesis talked about how that's why Cain led him out in the woods, Abel out in the woods, so get him or whatever. And also why they made cities. They made cities that keep away from the monsters in the woods, like the satyr, the goat beast. That's why these creatures are so hairy. These people are so hairy. That's why Esau was so hairy. 2 different nations within the womb and all that kind of stuff. See what I'm saying? So they did the hit and run tactics. They would be long gone before the horse would arrive. It's a barbarian thing. The Reds crippled the economy of Sumer. And this is exactly why JFK said they don't come by day with an army. They don't fight you straight up. They come by night with some kind of assassin or some sneaky shit. You see what I'm saying? They don't come straight up. Travel became unsafe. That's why God says they only come to steal, kill, steal, and destroy. That's what these freaks do. Because when they were living in the caves, it seemed like I remember the story basically being like Enlil created them. It was either Enlil or I don't remember. I'm pretty sure it was. It might have actually been Marduk. It's been so long. I really don't remember, to be honest. One of them created them. For some reason I thought it was Enlil. And basically, because he didn't like how it was like humans, like on the planet. Like he tried to flood us out, and basically Marduk kept our ass alive. And I only know this because you saw the part 1. My last name. Have you ever heard of the Morgan Curve? Like that's what I mean. Like pretty famous family and stuff for various reasons. I haven't got better discoveries than that. But the person that really got me into the Anunnaki actually, is a relative of mine. They know Sitchin. Like this person is famous, like kind of underground, though, like in a nerdy way, like kind of like how I am. But I'm actually not famous. He's more so famous because he actually got credentials and stuff. It's funny because he found it in college. It's just a project. He wasn't even trying that hard. That's why I was like, these songs get louder. Let me turn this down a little bit. Just a little bit. Alright, so became unsafe, and they did the fields. and famine and Gutians eventually overran Cain. Oh yeah, like I said, one of them made them basically to try and destroy the humans, like the people that Marduk had made, and he's trying to get rid of the people, the natives of the planet. He literally just made these monster type creatures, and this is all throughout all kinds of folklore and basically every history. It's the gods, like in Greece and all these places, because they're just telling our story. It's the same thing in Hindu religion and all that. And because they were in contact with the gods were like the Nibiru and Anunnaki type people and the angels, all that kind of stuff were very active on the planet back then. And so there was all kinds of stuff going on basically. They had towers, all kinds of stuff. And then their raids crippled them, and then the Gutians eventually overran the cave. And the list, King's List tells me their army also submerged Root. And although it seems that the autonomous rulers soon arose again in a number of city-states, notably Gutians also seem to have briefly overran. Okay, so they're just basically going all over the place doing stuff. On the Sumerian list, Gutian at first, no king was famous. They were their own kings and ruled thus for 3 years. As in, Gutian kings were uncultured. Yeah, they're uncultured and uncalp. I don't even know what that means. Destroyed the people of Babylon, so twice Marduk summoned the forces of Gutium against them. Ooh! So it was Marduk, it seems, that made him. But when I saw this story originally, I was looking at the actual tablets, and that's when I kind of found this. It was a brick ago. I was trying to find it, but they kind of make it hard to find it. So it was Marduk. So maybe... Oh, I think it was because he controlled that kingdom, and once they were there, they basically started working for him, which is kind of weird. I think that's how it worked. But anyways, Marduk gave his kingship to the Gutian force. Yeah, the Gutians were unhappy people, unaware how to revere the gods. You see, they're just atheists, man. Atheists from the beginning. And this is why they hate us, man. Because we're of God and things like that. So it's a big jealousy thing. It's literally a small dick complex thing, bro. I'm so serious. It's like I'm gonna get to that. I'm gonna show you that. That's exactly why they hated the divas and Hinduism. The reason I talk a lot about Hinduism because Hinduism basically just describes me, like to a T. Like when it talks about the Shiva, Vishnu, and Brahma, it literally just tells the whole story I've been telling y'all about. And when he opens his third eye, it's literally the outpouring of the spirit. It puts off this heat. It makes creation. And it causes catastrophes, because the energy coming through the opening in heaven, just like the opening in my forehead, and just like when he does it, the light shines down and absorbs into the earth, and then it causes volcanic activity, and which causes earthquakes and disasters and stuff, and just the solar wind blowing down asteroids and just knocking out power, all kinds of crazy stuff, and igniting things. That's why it says that wherever I would look, like things would melt and stuff like that. I've literally saw in a dream where I would do that. I think it's more talking about my spiritual side. Because like I said, the Bible says, all the power goes to Jesus. When I do this, it all goes to Jesus. He's that light that shines through the opening in heaven and causes a lot of shakiness. And then literally all his weapons, all four of them describe me to a T. Like to a T. Like he has one where he's like halfway awake and asleep. Basically, he's conscious while he's asleep, and he's manifesting stuff. That's when they always attack me, and that's when they would always attack him. And this is why people that pray to God, they always try and interrupt him. That's why these dogs, like these people are dog-faced. They always trying to interrupt your stuff. Like that's what they are. That's why the Bible called them dogs. And they actually have monkey bodies as well. But they said when I first saw this, they were saying that they not just light skin or fair skin like it says right here, but it also said that they had like dog faces. If you look up about the Gutians, it'll say that they had dog faces and like monkey bodies. I'm pretty sure you'll see it on the Wikipedia. I'm about to show you that next. And I've already basically explained this in the earlier parts now that I think about it. And so the Gutians took fish, blah blah blah. Okay. Okay, so Marduk gave his kingship to them. They were unhappy people unaware how to reverence God. The gods really ignorant of the right cultic practices. YouTube, the fishermen caught a fish at the edge of the sea for an opening. The fish should not be offered to another god until it has been offered to Marduk. But the Gutians took the boiled fish from his hand before it was offered. So by this August command, that's funny because I was born on August 7th, Leo alive, and that's why they call Samaria, which is really where the Hebrews come from, whether you believe it or not. If you look at this website, it'll tell you that's where they really come from. And, you know, that's why you look at the Hebrews, the Negro, they look kind of like the Anunnaki. My uncle, he literally gets visited by, like, that's the one that's, like, kind of famous. Like, they've been visiting him since he was a little kid. He's one of those types that get visited by ETs and stuff. No bullshit. You know, Zagreus and all kinds of people, man. He's a firm Anunnaki believer. I'm not, like, totally into it. I think it's kind of, like, partly misrepresented. But I believe it happened because it's too much history of it. And Marduk removed the Gutian force from the rule of his land and gave it to Utu-Hingol. I don't know who the fuck that is. Sumerian ruler Utu-Hingol Uruk. Similarly created kings list, blah, 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 blah. And removed the Guti. The Guti, the booty. Called it, Sumerians, blah, blah, blah. The Guti, Sargos, blah, blah, blah. Tribes, relations. Okay, so that's basically it. And just to make sure you don't think I'm just on some racist ass website that hates white people, because, you know, I mean, white people basically earned the hate by now. I mean, if you don't know all the horrible things they've done, like, literally, like, ask anybody that was born, the natives that were in this country, the one south of here, south of there, the people in Egypt that killed, the people in Samaria they fucked over. I mean, the whole fucking planet, and they're still bombing them in the Middle East this goddamn day, man. Like, give me a fucking break. That's why the Asians are so racist. Like, as you can tell, they got those monkey features where they were, you know, they got those genes in it, and then mixed into that. Canaanites too. The Ethiopians were one of the few people that didn't really have a lot of that, and that's, you know, that's why, because they didn't get overrun. That's what the Hindus were dealing with. Those Asuras were really the Muslims. They were constantly getting attacked by the Muslims who were created. The Muslim church. Not the Muslim church, but the Muslim faith was created by the Catholic Church, who you already know is the Romans. That's the fucking monster right there. Vlad the Impaler was a fucking, like, these fuckers started popping up around there. They're fucking Draculas, for real. The dragons. I already showed you that's what they are. The dragons. The 13 dragons or whatever. But conflict between the Gutian Empire and the Akkadian. We already know about that. Let's just go here and look up pale. Yeah, pale complexion, see? Let's see if we can find the dog thing. Oops. Yeah, human face with dogs. Dogs cunning and monkeys build. See? I didn't make this up. Wikipedia found that shit for me. There's probably another one too, but let's see. Nope, it's not here. See? I'm telling you, I don't bullshit, dude. I remember my shit, bro. I have a pretty good memory about certain things. When I know it, I know it. So basically dog featured, and that's why all that dog talk about in the earlier parts of this video. Nani is a real prophet, man. Okay, so, you know, the people out of the sea, people around ancient Egypt, lost city, mummies. Well, if you don't know about it, basically they lost, like, the people came to be the Egyptians originally. The people of the sea from foreign continents, the Libyans brought to support their attack on Egypt, you see? It's kind of funny how they worded it at first. It makes you think they are the Egyptian. But, around ancient Egypt, you mean that attacked ancient Egypt. These people can't ever fucking tell the truth about anything that relates to them. Like, that's one of their main problems. It doesn't matter how nice they are, they will never, almost never admit how fucked up they are, really, like, as a people. They will always make up these irrational ass excuses. Like, it's ridiculous. And it's just, you already know. Look at their politics, man. For the love of God. And then Rome, Yeah, right now I just told you about how Rome got fucked over by, I mean, not Rome, but Egypt got fucked over by them and everybody basically. And traditional, okay, Oni. If you don't know what Onis are, they're basically the same thing as a Asura. It's just the same thing as these monsters, basically, these demons. The ogre, a troll. That's why they're always trolling, always insulting. They are typically portrayed as hulking figures, giants, one or more horns, yep, out of their heads. Stereotypically, they're conceived as red, like Esau, red and hairy. And this is why the Hindus depict them as multiple colors. But they've kind of fallen in, they've been infiltrated because, you know, they've been dealing with this for a long time. And, you know, that's why they show Shiva now being pale. Not Shiva, but Krishna being pale, when Krishna name and Vishnu name literally means, you know, brown skinned or darker complected and stuff like that. Though impossibly could be white. We all know Jesus, which Krishna is based around. What really Vishnu is more so based around when he's, you know, being God, basically. And that's why there's more than one manifestation. Jesus came, and the Son of Man came. See? And then there were what they called Melchizedeks that were before him. You see? Just like there's all these other manifestations. I didn't realize this has so much running of the mouth in there. Let me remove that from here. Because this is supposed to be a place where I can talk and not be hearing Mr. Dogface talking over me. As you can tell, I like the song, but, you know, it's not while I'm talking. But, what was I saying? That's so distracting. You see how just the nature just threw me off with his voice? Oh, God, I literally just forgot what I was talking about. But I'll just continue. Fuck it. I'm sure I'll remember whatever the hell I was supposed to say. Alright, so growing out their heads typically. Oh, yeah, the color thing. Alright, so the snakes. The reason they got the snake now, and I'm telling you, Jesus, you know, I was telling you about the multiple iterations. You know, so, you know, I'm the newest one. That's why they got the two witnesses of God that go up to heaven when, you know, when they're done, and then the man-child appears, because that's them. That's why they're the two before the God of the whole earth. It's just like the two helium, who are really just two. No, one helium is two hydrogens. You see, so it's two of them that makes helium. You see, but if you, it's really helium is two, and then you can make one that's just really hydrogen. Everything's made out of hydrogen. And the sun, like I told you, just the opening in heaven. And the Bible said everything was made out of that light, Jesus, you know. And that's why everything's one. Even the more complex elements, as you can tell, I mean, the sun's fusing two hydrogen, making helium. So all the other ones, they found that their nucleus are made out of hydrogen. I knew this without even somebody to tell me. It just made sense. And that's why you see a lot of stuff in Dragon Ball Z is based around me. Like, they saw me making my videos, like on my old page. Like, the stuff I'm gonna show you is nothing compared to what I had on my old page. I was literally seeing like all kinds of figures and stuff in the heavens. Like, I had another version as while I was talking to the sun. You see how the light's coming at me? Where it was not just coming at me and I was showing you the actual visions it was giving me in my eyes. It was kind of getting caught by the camera. And I was showing you all these angels and stuff in the sky and stuff. This was on my old page. That's why they deleted it, you know, illegally and all that stuff, and deleted the views as well. Like, I want to show you, but like, I gotta get this other stuff done. I'm probably gonna just do it towards the end. Because you can look up my old page. It's called Calvary Alpha Omega Faith Majesty. You can look it up right now, and it'll show me. Because that's how big my page was. It actually shows up in the results when you search it, and there's this thing that will show you how many views I had. They change it sometimes. You might have to look at more than once, but you'll see that the views go from millions, like 5-6 million, down to like 1 million. They deleted more 4 million views and shit. Like, I've never seen that happen to anybody else. Wait, so there's like more than one Melchizedek, you know. Just like there's more than one manifestation of God as Vishnu, basically, you know, these Vishnu manifestations. And what else can I say? Basically, Brahma is basically symbolic of the eternal Father from the world that spiritual realm that doesn't, have form here, basically, and therefore it wasn't manifest, so it didn't need a creator. You see what I'm saying? It was a possibility, and he shined forth Jesus Christ. That's why it says in the beginning, which is the Alpha, the Father. That's why he's inside of the Father, and the Father's inside of him. See, I'm here. It's the end times. He said the Father would appear and he'd be sealed, the Son of Man, till the end of time. He alone is sealed. That's why. I rested on the last day, and I remanifested on the last day. And that's why it's the perfect day, Epiphany, whom the light that never fails. Well, that's why you got the menorah with the 7 days, and the main branch is the 7th day that they all branch off of. And it's got like this cycle to it too. And it's pretty amazing. That's why God said to observe that day is holy. That's like, for example, every holy day echoes, and you get all these blood moons, and that's why he says to observe the holy days. You see? And so like I said, in the beginning was the Word, and the Word was God. That means, look at the original translation. You can look it up yourself, interlinear, in the Alpha. It's not going to probably say Alpha, but we know what the beginning is. That's the Father. I am existed. That's what was means. Like A, I am, I am what I am who I am. You can change forms. That's what the God power is. Even the fallen angels, when they went to Cain, they were shapeshifted. They shapeshifted into them. Because everything's just made out of hydrogen, and they can just rearrange the shit around. And it's all one in the head too. Like when it's in the head, you think you're turning your head, but it's just like a computer screen. You're not really turning. It's an illusion. It's all in your head. It's like your computer screen. And that's how it's all one as well. It's all one in the head, and that's why they don't want us to be able to, manifest things using our internal power. And that's what the third eye's like relating to. That self-control to a level that the world itself is subjective to. It's like something inside of you that you can change through your intention and stuff like that. And that's why they're trying to vaccinate against that part of the brain. Trying to say it's religious fanaticism associated. No, they're just trying to cut us off from God. That's why it's always so respected in all religions. The pineal gland isn't the same. The pineal gland is something different. And then the thing in the center of the brain is different as well. So basically, multiple forms, and like I said, in the beginning was the Word, and time existed. That command, that's what it means. That's what word means, and that it's like a command, like literally, like that's why Jesus, he was like, I command you, Father, to receive my spirit. That's when he started calling himself the Son of Man, because he knew he was coming to me. And that's why he said, if you love the Father and the Son, they'll come and make their home with you. That's what happened to me. It happened in April, a while back, around when I sinned and all that started to happen. And it was just symbolic of what was going on. I'm the elect one. I'm the Son of Man. 2 witnesses, basically. I shake the heaven and earth. It's me and Jesus, basically. But in Hinduism, it's basically Vishnu, and who is Jesus. He can take any form. He's basically the Holy Spirit. Just like the evil spirits can be like going to and fro through the earth and take the form of a lion and harm someone. The same thing happens in Hindu religion. Like they talk about how Vishnu took the form of this hunter to help this guy that was praying to him. They get this powerful weapon from him, and this devil took the form of. They're always trying to interrupt our prayers. That's why if you're a targeted individual, that's why they target you when you're trying to sleep, so you don't use that power that I was telling you about that we have to manifest while we're sleeping. Because you guys basically have similar powers to me, just not to my degree. And so they're trying to interrupt that so you don't, sin. Just like the Bible said, they ascend not, but they block those who are trying to ascend. And basically, it turned into a wild boar, and it was trying to get him to distract it. Like they do all kinds of things. I used to have mice and all kinds of things trying to distract me when I'd be outside, just trying to be centered out my backyard and all that. Because my daddy's a lieutenant, disabled American vet, and that's what pisses me off about what happened in with this lieutenant just recently, where they maced him because my dad was a lieutenant. And then like, it reminds me to talk about COVID real quick. Like, COVID is really HIV, it's AIDS. Like the number, look this up. Man, I might have to do that myself right now. Just not trying to have my personal stuff. You know, when you're typing in shit, stuff pops up. I mean, I don't need y'all to be knowing my personal information. So you can look the shit up yourself. I already know it off the top of my head. Basically, since COVID came out, the heart attacks have doubled. And HIV makes a person, especially males, twice as likely to have a heart attack. That's why everybody that died from COVID so far that's been a black person, like that's famous, that you're going to hear about. You never heard any about white people dying from COVID so far that are real famous. I mean, not that I know of. But it was basically Marvelous Marvin Hagler. He had the same thing happen where he had a heart attack. I already proved that he took the vaccine. The heart attack itself pretty much proves it. Same thing with Hank Aaron. And then we all know DMX had a heart attack. It clearly says it. What else can I say? So there's people that are actually playing basketball having heart problems that never had heart problems. Like, one of them is exactly my age. It was another insult to me. They love to do that. Like, I was born in 1985, conceptualized in 84. That's why they did Orwell's 1984 at that point. They came out with all these machines, Terminator, Mike Tyson, Michael Jackson, Michael Jordan, all these like guys. It's a message about my presence. And those are basically, that was the zenith of the country, basically the 80s and then a little bit of the 90s. And, so they started coming after me. And then literally when I got out of high school, they went into Iraq. Star of Bethlehem was here when I was born. It's the same Star of Bethlehem. It's basically Haley's Comet. It was there when Jesus was here too. You can look it up. That's the only star, the only comet that could have been the Star of Bethlehem. By logic, by science, by historical records, by knowing the orbit. And that's why I say I have a 70-year orbit, because it represents life itself in the time that God shares with a person. And it's these cycles. That's why there's always a cycle. There's even a cycle in the book when I'm telling you the story of Genesis. And it's in there too. Like, in the beginning, created God. Inside of the Alpha, there was the command to create God. You see? And that's what Jesus was. And you look at it in Hebrew, it's even more convincing. I have a video about that you need to see. I'm not sure if I redid it. It was on my old channel. But yeah, it's just telling the story of Jesus in essence, but that's me too. And then in the beginning of John, it says, in the beginning was the Word, and the command was become God. And then it starts to go back towards the eternal Father, the Brahma. And that's why then he manifests me as the Son of Man. And then that's why he says, give me the power we had before the world was. So that's why I'm manifest now. And that's why when the two witnesses ascend, as the man-child, the dragon tries to stop him. Because he's desperate. And he knows what's about to happen, very likely. Because he can just kind of tell, And basically, once I get up there, that's why they say I take my power to myself, because Jesus is my power. And once they become one, me and him become one. He's shaking heaven. I'm on earth shaking things too, and witness him in the earth and the heavens. And once they become one, then they got the whole earth basically. And that's why when I go up there, I go to my throne, all that kind of stuff, and. What else happens? So yeah, that's why you see two guys like the Son of Man, two of them that are on a cloud with sharp stick. There's only one me, see, but Spirit, Jesus within me. He came and made his home with me. That's why Judas, being the evil bastard like he was really offended when Jesus said that, and that's why Jesus was like, why are you offended? If you love me, we're gonna make our home with you. You obviously don't love me. See, not hard to figure out. But he was an NPC, so he got eyes but don't see. He got ears but don't really hear. He kind of did, but not really. Obviously, he would have understood not to say that stupidity otherwise. But anyway, so it's a cycle. And then basically, that's why it says in the word was with God or something like that, that means the command is towards God. With means towards. Basically going back towards that power he had before the world was, that Brahma power. And that's why Brahma is like, that's why he didn't need a creator, you know, eternal, you know, not, he's not a material thing, so, you know. And then in Hinduism, I can't believe it, they nailed my story, bro. I was telling you this through the Bible, but they nailed it too. There's 2 witnesses. And that's why Dragon Ball Z has so much stuff in common with me. And like I said, they just seeing my show, what I was talking about on my old channel, and that's why they made Black Goku with the purple and all that and the sharp sickle. It's got to do with Bhuti, the constellation, who's the good shepherd or something like that, or the reaper. I can't remember exactly off the top of my head because I later looked at the whole story. And you want to know a story? And my whole story, because I basically did it all. It's just me. You know, like, because it's like a million different Vishnus. It's just me. Basically, it's called The Sting of the Scorpion. The Sting of the Scorpion by Jonathan Gray. It's on you can see it on YouTube on a channel called Time Out or something like that. And yeah, I'm gonna show you some pretty miraculous stuff in a minute. But let me finish talking. Basically, that's the cycle, though. It's a circle. And that's why he calls himself the Alpha and Omega. Once it's done, it's done. And you know, it's a division of the wheats and the tares as well. And that's why there's 144,000 Jews. That's actually, I mean, you know, the elect, basically. Man, I can't even believe I don't remember this off the top of my head. You know, the 144,000, man. If you don't know who the fuck that is, you're retarded. Basically, so that's the fractal. It's like 1 plus 1. See, you gotta add that 1 plus 1. You get 2. And then 2 plus 1 is the Trinity. You see how this works? And 2 plus 3 is 5. That's why there's 4 faces around the Lamb, and there's always that 4 around the forever 4, the 4 spirits of God. And then there's 4 plus 3. It's 7. The 7 spirits of God. You see? It's just following that fractal thing. That's why you see the fractal on everything. And that's why, you know, good-looking people usually of God, but, you know, not always. That's for damn sure. Can't always judge a book by its cover, you know. But it usually is a sign of what's going on within, what's going on the outside. You can usually assign. But all right, so you guys are kind of understanding where I'm coming from now. But let me get back to this, man. Now as you understand it, I have to explain that to you because you guys are not going to understand who I am or why I'm knowing all this and why I hate these demons. Because, you know, if you know Vishnu, he was always in Shiva. These fuckers always like to interrupt our meditation. Our meditation is constant, it's passive though. I don't have to literally like Vishnu is my passive power. That's why all the power from the Father basically goes to him. And Vishnu is basically a manifestation of Brahma. Not Vishnu. Yeah, Vishnu is a manifestation of Brahma. No, I'm tripping. No, yeah, Vishnu. I'm thinking of Shiva. Shiva is the manifestation of that power, and he can, you know, he can materialize or non-materialize. He can take any form, and that's why they call him Ashe. It can be anything. That's why they can find him in the tree, bush like that or whatever. But anyway, so you're starting to get it. But they're always trying to annoy me, and it pisses me off. So they're jealous of us. You know, there's a lot to it. If you know anything about Hinduism, you'll know what I'm talking about. You can look into it. Why there's this big... Well, I'll basically tell you now that I think about it. White colored wearing... yeah, that's why some of them are red, like Esau. Some are white. And some of them are blue. Even in Hinduism, they say, so, you know, they had these multiple colors. And then you saw in part 1 how it showed those Pleiadians. They had more than one color. Some of them were white. Some of them were blue. And I'm assuming some of them are green based on what Hinduism, you know, it's the reptilian thing. And then red, we already know that's hairy Esau. Those little transparent skin. And they wear tiger pelts, loincloths, because they're barbarians, basically. Clubs. And they're animalistic. That's why they call it a mark of the beast. And that's why they got eyes but can't see. And that's why they got no inner dialogue. You need to check out my video where I talk about how gang stalking NPCs. Check it out on my YouTube page, but I actually have it on my BitChute too. You can check it out in there. where I talk about how like this study where people don't have inner dialect, like 9 out of 10 basically, literally no inner dialect, where they don't have any reasoning skills, they don't have any imagination, no ability to think like when something odd is happening, what would the result would be. So they're literally insane. They have no mirror neurons, which is another female trait, but that's why they're just making all these mistakes all day, putting it right out in the open, which is really critically errored. But they're not getting punished for it because the people are brain dead, and they know it. And it's really just to insult a few of us that have eyes that see. You see what I'm saying? And that's why Jesus talked in parables, because he knew these people are animalistic. That's why he calls it the mark of the beast. And that's why he says the flesh warreth against the spirit. The spirit's got to do with that frontal lobe, your consciousness, your higher intellect, your reasoning skills, your inner dialect, your ability to, like if you don't have inner dialect, how are you going to imagine and shape your reality how you want? That's what I do. That's how I do it. It's the type of meditation that I'm not going to talk too detailed about. But yeah, it's real simple. Yeah. So wearing loincloths, tiger thing, and they're animals basically, man. Like that's why their hair look like animal hair, bro. Literally looks like animal hair. Like you look at animals, they all have that straight fucking hair. They ain't got no curly hair. The curly hair that's got to do with like the wavy hair. Like that's really good for receiving transmitting information. Just like our body, our blood receives and transmits data. What happens when you got bread, and brown bread, what's like basically everything full of life is brown or black or whatever, and you remove all the vital essence out? What does it become? Pale or transparent. And that's what's happened with the white people. No offense, they've lost a lot of their vital essence, and they're like almost like, I wouldn't even surprised that they're clones. I mean, they literally created them. They literally fucking created them like in a very unnatural way. Plus living in the caves, like parasites under their skins and stuff. It's really harsh. And that's why all they know how to do is kill, steal, and destroy. There's no abundance in the cave. So they had to kill, steal, and destroy each other just to get what they needed. Snakes, they'll eat other people, other creatures and stuff. But when a snake, they ain't got no one else to eat, they eat each other. You see? So just look at Germany, all Europe, killing the fuck out of each other once they got rid of the people of color over there. And then they came over here to steal what they had over here instead of just building on what they got. They don't know how to build on what they got. They just go to other places to steal shit. Like, they run out of oil. What do? Go to Iraq. You see what I'm saying? These guys are not very creative. Probably the only Caucasian person I really think was creative was Nikola Tesla. There's other good ones too, like JFK. But it's rare, man. It's rare amongst them, man. And it's not like they're not got some gifts or whatever. They got some gifts, but it's just this hate for us that it's a problem, man. I wouldn't have a problem with these people if they didn't have a problem with me. You see, my problem with y'all is y'all have a problem with me. You see what I'm saying? Even though I'm part white, bro. I'm part Czechoslovakian, I'm part Irish, I'm part other European, I forget which ones. My grandma literally had red hair. She black. Black. Like not super black, but pretty damn black. Like I don't know how to explain it. Like on a scale of 1 to 10, black, like 7, pretty high. And then me, let me see. My little pale ass, I'm like a fucking, compared to her, she's a 7. I'm like a 3 or a 4. Maybe a 5. I don't know. She's much darker though. Like, nah, she's a 7. I'm a 3 or 4. And so she had 12 tribes from Africa. So you know what I'm saying? Let me get back to this Oni thing. All right, enough of that. Let me continue on. So they got this color thing and then tiger thing, animal stuff. Oh yeah, that's the mark of the beast, And depictions of the yokai, Oni, but it's also the two sides of the nervous system. There's the growth side, where there's love, peace, all the fruits of the spirit, even long suffering. because long suffering causes endorphins, which is, if it's doing endorphins, that's a sign that you're on the growth side of the nervous system. Because when you're running, it's like a meditation. It's just like dancing. It's a type of meditation. You're getting your body in sync. They want you out of sync. They don't want your whole brain and body to work together as one. That's the key to manifesting reality. I'll just tell you that much. They don't want you to be able to do that because they can't do it. You know, they're animals. They have no self-control. So they're extremely jealous of that ability, and they're really fearful of it as well. And that's why they always interrupt me or Shiva or any of the guys when they're trying to meditate and all that kind of stuff. Which for me is natural. That's why one of the powers, one of the weapons of Shiva, or actually Vishnu, who's more symbolic of who I am right now. Vishnu is totally symbolic of me. Jesus is more like Shiva, like, you know, taking any form he wants. You know, I'm still in this flesh, you know, it's my first time being here. You know, Jesus manifested me. And basically, you know, he's my Lord and Savior too. You know, I gave him all my power. I told him up there, you know, that's how it is. It's still, you know, to me, he's still God. That's what he is. And let me see. Oh yeah, basically, you know, I manifest, like, the power of Vishnu really manifests. I have the Vishnu powers too, because that's my you know, my power as well. Not Vishnu, but Shiva as well, because it's all just me, you know, it's like, he is my power, literally. So when I rest, like, that's you know, my power that I've been building and releases. Literally, every time I rest, it gets windy. Like, it will not be windy, and then I rest, and it starts getting windy every time, almost every single time, because all that energy release. And you know, and then they start trying to wake me up and stuff, throwing darts at me and the fucking arrows at me. I can feel them hit me, and they bite me and all kinds of stuff. Like, and the Bible talks about it. It's like, don't you feel their blows? Don't you feel it? Like, it's real. And in Hinduism, they talk about it, like, literally, because these guys are doing stuff and they can see all this stuff. And this is why when people do DMT or any hallucinogen, they see the same shit over and over again. Like, either those reptilian devils or they see ETs, those gray alien devils, or they see the Hindus. The Hindus are usually doing good stuff, you know, they don't be doing bad stuff. To me, Kali, she's a devil, man. She's a fucking devil. They're lying about her, man. Like I said, they're kind of infiltrated. That's why the snake is on Vishnu, and that's why Krishna's now white somehow instead of his name means black, like I said, or dark, got some complexion to him, basically. So they were kind of infiltrated. And I mean, who loves the snake besides Luciferians? You know what I mean? And lies and deceit and jealousy. That's a tree of good and evil, like I said. When you're on that growth side, the positive side, it shuts down the negative side, and vice versa. The negative side shuts down the positive side. So that's why the Bible says perfect love casts out all fear, you see? And that's why they constantly have to attack us, constantly have to hold us down. They got to get us with this HIV, which is basically constantly wearing us down, not letting us feel good. Literally, they've made HIV spread like a fucking cold virus or a flu. It's not the flu or the cold that's killing people. It's the fucking HIV. That's why Jason Tatum, who plays for the Boston Celtics, he's really young. And now he's got to use an inhaler because he had got that shit before. And he's basically struggling because he's basically got HIV. And that's why Alex Jones says it's a slow kill operation. He doesn't say it's because of HIV itself. I'm making that connection. I don't know if he's even allowed to say that or he even knows. But like it's the HIV thing and it's AIDS. Literally, look this up. All the people that had AIDS already, and they were taking medication for AIDS, if they got COVID, none of them died. Basically, none of them died. Maybe one out of like all of them. Like, you know what I mean? Like, they said it was like 5 times less likely for them to die. 5 fucking times. Because they actually had the medication that they need. Because it treats a lot of the problems. And that's why everybody's dying from heart attacks, because it's building up all that plaque in them. And people underestimate how dangerous AIDS is. I can't believe when I heard that it had an HIV carrier for the virus, I was like, okay, that doesn't, like, why isn't anybody worried about the HIV itself? That's like very deadly. And the fact that it's spreading HIV like that is really deadly. In reality, it's HIV is the virus, and they're using, or AIDS is the virus, and they're using something that makes it spread like the flu or cold. So you can say the cold or flu is now a carrier for fucking HIV. It's gonna kill masses of people. These people are literally trying to genocide all the guys. That's how drastically evil these people are. And why I'm going so far with this video, and why God has moved me in such a way like this. Amazing. But so let me continue. So the skin may be acquired, okay. They may also be depicted with a third eye on their forehead. Yep. I've actually seen, the only other person I've seen with an open third eye was this white boy, actually. Let me show you. Where is it? See? It's only one other person for the most part besides Vishnu and all that kind of stuff. And she doesn't even know how she got it. I know how I got it. Mine appeared when I started doing a serious outpouring earlier this month. Now that I think about it, hers looks different. Hers looks like a scar. Never mind. Hers looks different. You can see that it's actually... Hers is very different from mine. Now that I think about it. I haven't looked at it in a while. Well, I'll check this out later. And then here they're talking about how all the ancient religions had it, and it made them connect to stuff, but they didn't. They think it's got to do with this thing in the middle of the brain that like makes it all work together. Which is, I ain't gonna lie, it is part of how you open the third eye, but that's not the core. The core is the frontal lobe. The frontal lobe. That's why they're trying to vaccinate against it. It controls all the rest of the brain. Like, it has so many functions. It's easier to list the functions that it doesn't have than the functions that it has, because it does basically everything. That's why God says you walk by faith, not by sight. Do you really think about all the things you do when you move your arms? Do you fire all those neurons intentionally? No, you just do it by just will. You know, you intend it. That's why God judges us on our intention. Yeah, her third eye looks ugly compared to mine now. I mean, I was being nice, trying to say, because that was the only other person I saw something similar to it, but mine doesn't look like that, not at all. Mine literally looks like an eye. I'm going to show you in a sec. And then their skin may be any, okay, third eye on the forehead, but it's possible for them because they also seem to be, from heavenly, origins, with, or maybe they were just created by things that are from heavenly origins. But then there's the fallen angels that are more so related to these actual monsters that are always around us, invisible, not like the actual creatures that they made, the monsters that they've made that are now hybrids that we're dealing with. These are actually the ones they're worshiping. Like, they worship these demons, these Asura, these Oni. That's what they're worshiping. And in old mythology, Oni, blah blah blah, hide to conceal, due to them having a tendency to hide them behind things. Yep, not wishing to appear. Just like the one that was trying to cause Vishnu lust, or it might have been Shiva. Then he opened his eye and burnt him. And then this fool right here, where is it? I only saw, the only reason he's here is because I looked at his video about the Shiva and his third eye, and he was talking about how lust is trying to get at him, and he tried to say lust is something within. I'm like, hell no, it's not. Everybody in the Bible clearly says the lust of the eyes. That's something outside you that you're lusting for. You can't lust for things within you. Like, that's just stupid. And he says some other things that just don't make any sense. This is a guy that doesn't actually have a fucking open third eye like I do. So, and then he's literally trying to correct and fix things that were already good. Like, the teachings are already good. It was from people that really knew what they were doing. He doesn't know what he's doing. He's just some popular guy. I mean, if he's popular with the world like this, come on. Look at me. I'm literally like I'm about to show you what I do. Like, let me just show you this for a second. Just tell me if you know anybody that can do this, bro. Oh, no, this thing did. This thing really just fucking, like, get rid of all the stuff I already had. Oh, I'm about to say. Alright, let me. This is a video I was talking about my third eye and all that kind of stuff. And I'm just talking about this, how the light is, coming directly at me. And I stop it right there so you can see, like, it's not CGI. It's all, like, that CGI is the best CGI you'll ever see. And you should be wondering, why the fuck this is not viral? It's got like fucking 14 views or some shit like that. And then the moons just so happens to be behind me. And I was making a little joke. I was like, man, I should just like go all over the place. Let me show you something real quick. Watch how if it doesn't like focus in. See, look how gold it is. Mount Zion is gold. See this? Even when it focuses, you can still see the gold, but that's only because, it's now trying to show you what it wants you to see. And while it's doing that, it's got this thing in the center that's just pointed dead at mine. I'm getting visions from that. But anyways, real deal Holyfield, man. The sun itself witnessing for me, bro. Jesus Christ. And it says that if, in order to see the sun, the Father's gotta lead you to him. What did I just do? I just showed you Jesus. In order to be saved, it says that you have to see him, believe, and repent. That's the last one? Okay. Let me go back up here. And you have to see him, believe, and repent. And I just showed you where he is. And if you fucking understand what I just told you, if you're not a robot, you'll understand and believe. Real belief is not blind. Real belief, based on definition, is evidence of things unseen. Just like you believe in Wi-Fi, because there's evidence of it. Don't never be no fool believing in shit. Don't be deceived, like you said. Don't be deceived. So these monsters just like to be hidden behind things. Like I said, he was having that. He was trying to say he had lust or whatever, but he didn't really have lust. I mean, he had lust, but if he did or whatever, but it wasn't internal, it was external. And then that's why the story is correct and he's a fool. But they also like to be hidden and throw darts at people. And when he burnt it, it was hiding behind a tree. That's why I bring that up. Because this is Oni, all this stuff's based around Hinduism anyway. Buddhism comes from Hinduism. That's why you get all this stuff in the anime and stuff that's just based around Hinduism. Which Hinduism was strongly influenced by Christianity as well. And the apostles came over. Creatures such as man devour. Let's see. Having tendency to hide behind things, not wishing to appear. Just like how they're basically invisible a lot of the time and not want to appear. This explanation is found century different meaning, the soul. They also have a different meaning with Oni as a soul, it's a spirit of the dead. You see? That's why Paul says he's the God of the living and the dead. No. Fucking hypocrite piece of shit Roman. That's why, how the fuck he gonna contradict Jesus so many fucking times? It's not 14 apostles, there's only 12. And then when one of them got fucked up, they replaced him with someone else. So who the fuck is Paul? He's a goddamn Roman, man. Backwards ass person, man, saying, oh, I'll show my works by my faith. Why is James, who actually knew Jesus, say the opposite? He says, I don't show my, I know there's people that say that they're apostle, but they're not. Just like in Revelation, Jesus himself says that as well. And then James says, and then he even says in Revelation that they say you can eat things offered to idols and all this other bullshit and you can break the rules. Like Paul said. And people don't get it because they don't use their fucking brains. Because Jesus wasn't talking to them. They're the father of the devil, man. And they can't know the truth because there ain't no truth in it. Because Jesus is the spirit of truth. He's in you and he's not. You know a fruit. You know a tree by its fruit. It's either good or evil. And they're all at lower echelon, not the higher. Try to say this, the God of the dead. Jesus says he's not the God of the dead. He's the God of the living only. Stupid, man. And then the Oni in Chinese also means dead or ancestral spirit. You see? Dealing with fucking dead people, man. The evil specters, according to the Taoist origins. Just like how they talk about how the fallen angels, those wicked ass fallen angels after they died, that they wandered the earth. You know? The spirits wandered the earth, and then their children probably had the same problem. Because of the wicked nature. Wasn't supposed to mix with fucking fleshy beings. And then particularly powerful Oni described blah blah blah. Something about Qi, and then turn Japanese Buddhism, wrathful deities, only synchronized Hindu creatures such as man devouring, blah blah blah. Oh, another evil thing. And then tormenting sinners. That's why they like to eat blood and all that kind of stuff. And then administering sentences passed down. That's why they always take your kids and all your stuff and feed it to them. And then King Yama and hungry ghosts called blah blah blah. And we're very worse people turn into Oni while alive. yeah, like these Caucasus Mountains and Roman Gypsy Jew monsters that these Draculas. That's how they do their magic too. Like when they levitate and all that crazy shit, like they're just changing their atomic structure. That's why a lot of times they won't let you see what they're doing, because you see what they're doing, it'll blow your fucking mind, because they're literally doing some crazy shit. Like you would see it. And then plus, it has to work with, I think the way they're doing it, if it works like mine, it has to do with how you decode things. So they have to hide it so you can re-decode it how they want you to. But, yeah, so... And then, but it's crazy for them to be able to do that while they're alive. That's why, you know, Dracula, for example, wouldn't die unless you stabbed him through his heart. Because when you stab him through his heart, he can't regenerate it. You see what I'm saying? And it's just stuck in his heart. So he just dies eventually. Just his soul gives up from the pure pain. And these are the only causing troubles amongst humans, as and that's why they hate garlic. Garlic gets rid of HIV. What a surprise. Well, it literally like dissolves HIV. And it thins your blood at the same fucking time. And then among humans, as presented in folk tales, and he's only causing troubles amongst humans. Yeah, that's what they do. That's their whole fucking, that's what they, it's just like this big hate fest that they throw at us, man. Going Chinese tiles and blah, 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 the way yin and yang. And then they basically, there's like this negative direction that they tend to come from, supposedly in the northeastern direction. This is kind of like feng shui, I guess, but not really. It's just like this thing they believe, and I'm pretty sure they probably have a good reasoning behind it. And so they'll literally put these buildings in the way to block it and stuff. Block that shitty energy. Because everything's energetic. You guys are kind of getting an idea for these things. Let me see. Let me see if I find anything about God. Concept of being proposed particularly on, oh yes. Okay, I'm done here. Now let's go to the Sir. Asur, Sanskrit, Kundu, demigod, or Titan. See? Demigod or Titan. Fallen angels. See, this is what I love about Hinduism. Well, they're putting it in Buddhism, which really is just basically Hinduism. And that's why they say in Buddhism, when you got your open eye, you're basically another manifestation of Buddha, or what is really a manifestation of Vishnu, or you're a Melchizedek. You're basically a god on earth at that moment. That's why I'm literally the only one like I am. So Buddha, demigod, Titan. That's what these things are, bro. Amazing. And then what did they show in the Greek story? Because, you know, we're basically the Greeks. That's why I have some Greek blood in me. Some Spanish blood as well. I don't know if they used to be black too, but I'm pretty sure it's actual, like, you know, Roman, unfortunately. And then, what else? I'm actually part Spartan as well. I saw it in a dream too before I even knew, like, because my dad did our genealogy and stuff. And then Buddhism is a demigod titan. I mean, god dang, couldn't get more obvious than that. Like, literally in the Greek mythology, the gods, Perseus is literally like represented by the story in heaven. And then he fights that great sea creature. It's just telling the whole story. It's manifesting on earth. Everything in that heaven is manifesting on earth. It tells the whole story of time. That's why when they see like signs in the heavens, like Moses' signs eating up their stars and stuff like that, or Abraham's stars doing something to their stars, they get scared. And they start trying to get rid of the people that they know could do that. You see? And so, like, that's why it's a Titan and stuff and all that kind of stuff. And that's why in Greek mythology, they especially really nailed it with kind of how it is. And then, for example, Zeus is supposed to be symbolic of like Marduk or something like that, who like basically is the son of their god, like the one that created him, who was the first one to create him. I forget his name. Oh man, I feel like kind of bad that I don't remember the name off the top of the because I'm not really into Anunnaki and stuff. I'll probably take it a little more seriously now that I'm learning all this, but that it's more serious than I thought. But Enki, his name was Enki. And he was basically the original one that seeded humans, and Marduk was like his son, so he was like basically the son of God. You see what I'm saying? But that's the way they put it like that. That's why they call him Zeus or whatever. And they had 4 or 6 arms. And that's why in the Bible they talk about all these beasts, like the Goliath and then the lion-faced monsters and all those other monsters that they ran into in other freak shows. Like there's a tiger-faced one. There's like, you see what I'm saying? They're just fucking with doing all kinds of crazy manipulations and genetics and crazy stuff. And that's where you actually started to get some of these predatory monsters that they made, like lions and tigers and stuff, because it didn't really used to be those kind of creatures. Like they were all like pleasant creatures that ate plants and stuff like that. And then, but they were messing with the genetics and stuff, and that's why the animals started getting violent with each other in the days of Noah and all that kind of stuff. You see? Anyway, so Buddhism and Sirs have a few distinctive factors. Then Sirs of Hinduism, which are only found in Buddhist texts. The Buddhist context of the word translated Titan, demigod, or anti-god. See? That's not different. It's just these people reading this don't understand what the fuck they read. They're in Hinduism. That's what they are. They're totally just like they're against the gods. That's what they do. It's just like I was telling you in the Greek mythology and all that. They made these monsters, and there was this female that made them. And I'm trying to tell people, Kali. That's why they worship Kali, the god of destruction. She's the polar opposite of the creator. It's like the moon and the fucking sun, like total opposites. That's why they're starting to put all that moon shit there. And just twisted, man. They got infiltrated. And let me see. Well, yeah, you see where I'm going, man. It's pretty fucking crazy. So let me see, the anti-god, but they're basically the that's what they do. They're always trying to stop the gods from doing what they do. They're just haters, man. That's really all it is. And Buddha Hosha explains that their name derives from the myth, not a myth, but they're defeated by Sakura. I gotta figure out what Sakura is, man. I should have looked at before this. According to the story, she basically kicks their fucking ass while they're drunk. And we all know, like, what do these white people love to do? Like when they were in Rome and Greece, they literally had a god of getting drunk, a god of wine or some shit like that. That's what they love to do. It's the white man's poison, man. That's what my boy Morpheus calls it. Yeah, I'm Neo, in case you ain't kept on it. He was named Morpheus before the movie came out. He was the one who got me woke. But I don't even want to call it woke, aware. Woke and all that shit, I got bad means. He was a shaman before the movie came out. That's why he had that name. So let me see. Pride. Okay. While all the guys are coming subject to passion to a degree. Yeah, we all are to a degree. Yeah. That's why even Emmanuel. That's basically who I am now. Like choosing the good over making mistakes, basically. Like the evil, I guess you could call it. Like just, it took me a while to figure it out. But like what was good? That's why it says when the one that comes after Jesus comes, he's gonna talk about what he says, and he's gonna reprove the whole world about Jesus himself, like I've been doing. And he'll talk about what he sees. That's what I do. My third eye sees more than my two eyes. My two eyes I use just to confirm if it's in the world. Anyway, so when Assyrians above all are addicted to them. Yep, that's what these people are. They're worldly, passion, drug addict ass people. Like, especially wrath. Yep, look at what they be doing to people, blowing them all up and shit. Pride. Oh God, don't get them going on the pride. Oh yeah, this is so true. Like for example, like if you insult these people's pride about anything, their country, anything related to them, you tell them white people are the devil. You tell them, I mean, even small things, they'll just cover it up somehow. Like it's ridiculous how far they go to save their pride. And deep, the small dick complex. Do we have to even say it? I mean, they're fucking going to hell. We're going to heaven. You know, like, so there's a lot of envy in that. Not every single one of these people. You know what I mean? But like, specifically more so the demons that they are basically related to, and were created by. Not every single white person, like I said, but damn near. I mean, a lot of them have some serious problems. Like, you never know. Through Jesus, anybody can be saved. You know, like that's the guy that made the story. Sting of the Scorpion was a white man. You see what I'm saying? Like, don't this, and then 2/3 of the black people getting cut off. I mean, the Hebrews are getting cut off. You see what I'm saying? God ain't biased. Nah. It's just reality, you know? It's good and bad and everything, but certain ones are way worse. Way fucking worse. Insincerity. Oh, yeah. Do I even have to say it? Falseness. The father of lies. What do? They told the whole world nothing but lies about history. His story, you know? And especially the fake Jews. They're the main ones. Like, Jesus Christ. Like, they literally stole the Hebrews' history and shit. And then Bellicose City. I don't even know what the hell Bellicose City means. The Great Calm observation by ZE says, always designed to be superior to others. Woo! This is exactly them. They're literally like, if you look at the Roy's, which one is it? It's a little too loud. Basically, what do? Like, they're always competing with each other, like in other people. And then in order to keep a competitive edge, they're always giving them black man handicaps, like blowing up Wall Street. Want to be superior to others, like invading their lands and all this other kind of stuff. Let me see. I mean, there's a million examples, bro. Like, millions of examples. If you don't know that's what they like to do, you clearly don't know shit. Having no patience for inferiors and belittling strangers, like a hawk flying high above, looking down on others, and yet outwardly displaying justice, worship, wisdom, and faith. Yeah, they try to act like they're Christians, man. Well, like, they worship Lucifer in the Roman Catholic Church. They want to act like they're Christian, but they're really atheists. They don't have no faith. You see what I'm saying? And they really don't got much wisdom or worship. Wisdom. And they clearly ain't got no worship. And then do we get justice? As Trayvon Martin's family. As, you know what I mean? Like, all these people that got killed by these people. Like, did they get justice? Do they even give themselves justice? That's why they even put down each other. Like I told you, the snakes will eat each other. Like, this does not describe them enough. You know, like, if you don't get this, you're crazy. But don't forget, this is mixed in pretty much all of them. Like, for example, like the Middle Eastern people. That's why a lot of them are hairy. Like, if they're real hairy in the body, it's another sign that they got those shitty genetics. And white people and Romans, literally the hairiest people by by race on the planet. Let me see. So this is raising up the lowest order of good and walking the way of Osiris. Yep. Osiris has said. That's why God said they would kill people by peace. They would destroy wonderfully by peace. false peace, that is. Their services said to experience a much more pleasurable life than humans. Yeah, I mean, look at their lives. Look at their fucking lives. It's a mix of a little bit of good and probably more evil than good. And therefore, they end up kind of caught up in this trouble. Because they're about to say that next. I remember that. And that's why they're so into that kind of worldly shit. Because they can't really conceptualize spiritual things, so they focus on that. That's why they're so obsessed over money, or obsessed over worldly things, so obsessed over control, because that's all there is to them. There is no heaven in their head. There is none of that kind of stuff. Like they dissected people in Vietnam, black and white, and the black guys, 2 out of 3, like basically 2/3 of them had an active pineal, and then only 1/3 of whites had active pineal. You see, put them together, you got, something out, So it's basically 1/3 of the whites that are probably gonna have a shot at it, and 2/3 of blacks, but you already know 2/3 getting cut off out of them, and that last third is gonna be basically half of the 2/3 that were possible to make it. So basically, the white people, I'm assuming that they follow that same ratio, that basically 1/2 of 1/3 would make it for them. So that'd be like 1/6. Interesting. 616. We already know about that. That's their number right there. That's their mark. So let me see. But they are plagued with envy for the divas. See, they are plagued with envy for the divas. What did Albert Einstein say? What did Albert Einstein say? You don't know this? Look this up. Look it up right now. Albert Einstein said racism is a disease of the white man. Drops my mic. And even though Albert Einstein looked white, he's a Jew. It's a little bit different. Just like Nikola Tesla is not exactly the same as a typical white. It's clear as day by the way he lived. Like he was from a different country. Like he literally gave his life and blood to try and give us freedom. And then these devils use all that energy, all that power and technology against us to now enslave us, and they're cooking us with this 5G and all this other shit that hit us with. See? It's unbelievable. This is what I'll tell you. They hate us, bro. Small dick complex. That's why they're always hating on black people, always attacking black people, always specifically the Hebrews too. More than anybody they target the Hebrews. And then even the Canaanites, the black man, that's why it's the black and white checkerboard. That's why they told my dad when he was in the military. That's why I hate how they treated that lieutenant. Because my dad dealt with a lot of racism when he was in the military. And they said at least the other guy's comfortably black. Talking about how my dad's not, dark enough, basically. And I'm telling you, dark people do kind of discriminate against browner, little lighter guys. They ain't got no problem with our women, of course. But, because they're beautiful. But, like, they have a problem with us because we look good. And I remember I was in jail, this one guy, and I helped him get out or whatever. He was a dark guy because I don't be, holding shit against people. I just see what their personality is like, and then I judge them, And he was like, we were the ones who started that whole, you light-skinned guys are soft and shit. We did that because y'all were getting all the girls, man. Y'all look too good, blah, blah, blah. I was like, okay. I mean, I kind of already knew there was some kind of jealousy going on there. But yeah, it's literally like, that's why they mix us in with these people, because they know they hate us. They hate us with a passion. The Canaanites hate us, bro. Cain killed Abel. They hate us with a passion, bro. Like, alright, so let's see, and then our own people are fucked up too. You look at the Middle East, like I told you, like the Indians clearly talk about how there's like these mixed people that are no longer pure. That's why the Indians try and keep their blood pure, just like the Ethiopians try and keep their blood pure, but they're not doing that great of a job in Ethiopia anymore. And then the Zoroastrians, like I think it was like the Persians or something like that. Just like Cyrus the Great, who set them free from Babylon, and was a really holy man. He was actually considered the anointed Messiah. He was another Melchizedek of his time, and he set them free from Babylon. And he was literally the greatest leader ever. Alexander the Great didn't beat him. He beat the guys that came after him. And this is all actually mentioned in the book of Daniel. That's how powerful that stuff was. That's why I call myself Cyrus the Great on my other account on YouTube. And so, yeah, this jealousy thing is really... that's the main sin. The number one sin in the planet is jealousy. That's the very first sin. Like, why did Eve take the plant? She was jealous of the power of God. She wanted to be like God. She was jealous. She was envious. Instead of knowing her fucking place that God had put her in. You see what I'm saying? Just like today, we know women don't know how to fucking stay in their goddamn place. And we just got a man shot because of one of them being in a position that God said they shouldn't be in. That's why I'm telling you, women are the closest thing to the devil you're going to get sometimes. Like, because, for example, like they're basically the polar opposite of men. I told you the polar opposite of Shiva was Kali. She's destructive. Even though they try to act like she's a deity, a good one, but nah, she's a monster. She's clearly a goddamn monster. Everybody that sees her when they do DMT and stuff, she's always just fucking with them, like doing all this horrible stuff to them. And basically, the Bible says, "Your oppressors are children, and the rulers are women." So who's the boss? You go through all the little minions, and they literally, like, what are these people coming over the board to do? They use their kids as a goddamn weapon against us. Like, they literally don't even give a fuck. They just like, it's disgusting, man. You use your own kids as a weapon, bro. Disgusting. And the rulers are women. So who's the boss after you beat all the little kids' ass? Like, it's the fucking woman sitting in the back. That's why in the shit of England, the Queen of England, she's the head of the monarchy, head of the church, and it's the Queen of England instead of the King of England. And that's why all them other guys are just princes. They don't even let them be kings. They're backwards. They're literally backwards, like I told you. They're from below, we're from above. So they always put things backwards to that. Even Jonathan Clegg talks about that, how they put everything upside down. When they draw things, they put it upside down too. It's literally like that. So it's like I said, when you're on the growth side, everything shuts that down. That's why they don't want you to be on the growth side. That's why they're always trying to trigger you, trying to get you mad if you're a target individual, to get you back on the negative side, to keep you down, keep you, from ascending. I've already seen it in the dream. In the dream that there's a rapture. When the rapture happened, there's basically everybody. That's why they don't want us in church. When people are real close to each other, they're resonating with each other. And then when they do all the positive stuff at church, it resonates and makes them more like, on that higher side, which is like the hydrogen, which is lighter than air, and that makes them float. They can literally be floating. That's why you feel lighter when you're feeling good. You literally feel lighter. Because it happened, everybody was singing and praising, and I felt it. We could hear each other, and I was feeling such ecstasy that I literally started flying off it. And whenever I've dreamed that I fly, it's like a feeling I have. That's why they're always trying to fuck with your feelings, man. You see what I'm saying? So that's why they're always trying to distract Shiva and stuff when he's doing this thing. They try and block him from doing this thing. And me too, clearly. Like, I get, man, you don't even want to, man, that's been going on for too long. And then Sirius formerly lived in Pika, blah, blah, blah. You know what? They climbed up steep slopes, forced to retreat because of their numbers. Yeah, I already talked about this. I didn't talk about that. That's when they talk about they're fighting Sakura. And then a third realm is one of the realms that one can be reborn into within 6 realms. Rebirth here is a result of experiencing the fruits of wholesome karma, basically some good, and then engaging in unwholesome karma. So basically, a white person, you see how they're born into a wholesome situation, a good situation, but they're engaging in unwholesome situations. You see what I mean? Bombing all these other places. That's why they end up in that situation. That's why God says it's the opposite for you. You end up in like this hellish world. It's hell to you. And then because it's always opposites. Like when you, for example, when you get aroused real good and you got a lot of blood pressure going, the moment you release it, your blood pressure will go down correspondingly, like below where it was before you even started bringing it up, because that's how things go. The higher it goes, the lower it's gonna go. The lower it goes, the higher it's gonna go. Rebound, you see? And It's deep, man. Like as you can imagine. Um, so yeah, these guys literally are born in here with a really nice situation, but they ruin it basically, and then they end up they're gonna really hate how their karma ends up putting them in a really bad situation. All right, so I mean, I've been saying a lot here. I think I might have to just go on to the next part. The placement of a server realm, Buddhists got various between. Sometimes server realms recognize one happiness bullshit. This is between the worlds of the divas and the humans. And the other scheme is it viewed as a fourth additional to the usual three evil paths and make up the animal realm. So is it Mark of the Beast, man? I think that's what it is. Ghost realm and hell realm. Yeah, that's it. Yep, that's where they go. And then the schools because like basically they were born blessed, but they decided to do horrible things with it, like we see them do every day. And in the schools, it's like a spit in God's face. He's like giving them the best shot he could because he knows their nature. And then in the schools that recognize the desire realm, consisting of 5 realms, the Sur realm tends to be included among the Diva realm, better boost, blah blah blah, 6th world. You know what? I think this is enough. I think there's enough of this. You guys get the idea of why they hate us. That's what I was trying to show. Now, let me show you how these guys are just all fucking atheists, basically. George Washington warns of the infiltration of the Illuminati. If you don't know how the Illuminati are, the Illuminati are basically, Romans. That's a Roman word, just like the N word is a Roman word. Just like they had 50% of the slaves in Brazil, and only 5% here in America. Because the Latins are even worse than the regular white man. The Latins are even fucking worse, bro. That's why they got priority over there. Because of Rome and all that kind of stuff. But they kind of work hand in hand, basically, the fucking soul. I mean, they all literally came over here and flooded the whole continent from the top to the bottom of all the continents over here. That's conspiracy, That's real racism. And they were so filthy it killed them all, whatever. But what was I gonna say? The Illuminati. I don't even remember what I was talking about. Basically, the Illuminati, they're atheists or whatever. With the Illuminati, the Roman bullshit. But basically, they worship Lucifer. That's why they sing Lucifer in Rome and all that kind of shit. They're just worshiping themselves and all that kind of stuff and their fallen angel family and these demons and stuff. And these real desperate things that are willing to give them all kinds of technology just so that they suck their dick. That's why Germany got all that technology. It was from aliens. It was from the ugly ass creatures, and that's why Hitler wasn't really killed. He was allowed to leave because he was actually paid by the fake Jews to instigate all that so that they could get rid of Germany, because they didn't want Germany having any kind of freedom, because they wanted to be able to feed on it. Because like I said, they don't want any kind of freedom anywhere. And because they want the people out of the cities, they want them out in the middle of nowhere so that the monsters can get them. Look up Missing 411 and learn about these Yeti and these hairy monsters. And it's not just them, it's UFOs abducting people out in those areas and then eating them or whatever and doing stuff to them or whatever. Real evil stuff. And that's why the Bible says they're out in those wild places, and the little monsters there. Literally the first demon ever was a female. You see? So the devil is a female. Lilith's literally mentioned in the Bible, in the regular Bible, not just that special book where it tells you the actual story. So literally, if she's in there, that means she's the first demon, and that's why it calls them her children. Like she's the fucking mother of devils. Right? That's why it says your oppressor children and their ruler is women. He said 0 out of all women he found righteous. 0, and only 1 out of 1,000 men. And then it even talks about how, like the Shepherd or Hermes, or one of those Hermes books, or something like that, that there's these holy spirited women that you probably not even know this word, because I only saw them when they were in heaven. And then there's like these dark, shadowy monster women. And I'm gonna show you some of this dark, shadowy shit like in a second. Like, let me show you. example, I have footage of the second son. You see that dark stuff? Like, let me just show you. You see that? This dark shit right here? That's them. They create this darkness. It's a thing. Look at it. It's a thing. You see this? You see this? Rulers of the darkness of this world. The void. But look at this. They're doing that because they're trying to hide my power. Look. Boosh. You see this? Let's skip. And those women of the darkness lead the men down there to their grave, to their hell, through all these worldly passions and shit. And that's why it says the 144, the elected God, don't defile themselves with these disgusting women of this world. And why is it so dark all around it? It's trying to hide it. That thing should be lighting up the whole fucking place, man, just like the sun was. Unbelievable, right? Well, everything about me is unbelievable. You see how long ago I made this? Fucking badass, man. And this is why this is like some of the stuff from my old page. They used to have way better stuff than this, man. And the reason I could find it is because I knew what was going on. I was just like, I'm triggering this shit, so I trigger it and I go, look. It's not hard to find it when you know. It's like not hard to predict it when you can make it happen. It's like, yeah, I'm gonna make the sun erupt, and well, there's gonna be an earthquake tomorrow because I'm making the sun erupt, but it's gonna cause it. You know what I mean? Like, all right, so these guys are the darkness, man. And these women are wicked. Like, and it even says in the regular Bible that women lead men to their deaths. They don't know that this hooker woman, this woman of this, fleshiness, of the worldliness, of the lower realm, lower vibrations, she's gonna lead them to hell. That's what we're resonating together. You see what I'm saying? That's why we're called holy people. We're supposed to be set apart from these crazy people. That's literally why I'm out here, like instead of in my house, because my dad, he's kind of crazy. He's basically, it's with that bullshit. And let's see. So let me finish it. So basically, they don't believe in any God. They're just totally about that demon shit. That's what the Illuminati are about. That's basically what Luciferianism. Because Lucifer is basically the king of Babylon. He was Nimrod. Like these are the same guys that built the Tower of Babylon to try and reach up to heaven and make war with the gods up there. We already know about Babylon, how who would have actually done that? The Gushians, who had no respect for the gods of Babylon. The gods, not really Babylon, before that it was called Samaria or whatever. And all this other shit, That's why these guys worship this old Babylonian cult, like Putin said. And he literally saw the queen turn into a snake. They can shape shit. This is not bullshit, bro. This is all real. It's all scientifically easy to show. To explain. And this happened right after the country was founded. They infiltrated it. And George Washington was warning about it. He was like, they're infiltrated. That's why our country has some good foundation. The Masons were not always bad. And that's why they lie to them and say, you have to believe in a deity to be a part of it at the beginning. But the highest parts are all Luciferian because they're infiltrated at the highest levels. You see? And then there was really a battle going on between Trump and the Illuminati. He's obviously racist as well. He has this whole Germanic, Masonic bullshit. And I'm sure he's high up there, so I'm pretty sure he's a part of the Illuminati bullshit too. He pushed the vaccines, aka he wants to kill all black people. He's clearly racist. It's not hard to figure out. He even shows, like his that order out of chaos, that double-headed phoenix. It's got to do with the Germanic, and then he's got also the Scottish masonry. Anyway, so infiltrated. He said, so that's why they're atheists now. They're not really, following deity, and the Illuminati. That's all they do, and that's why they want to get rid of. They want to get rid of the Christians. me show you. Ooh, I messed up. I messed up on that pretty bad. Nobody openly worship Satan because they're religious. No, they want to get rid of all religion. So I don't know why this isn't popping up. It was always showing up before. And they wanted to get... Oh, yeah. It was already there. I'm tripping. I'm going to show you. Watch. It was already there. I forgot. That's what Washington was talking about. They have a conspiracy against all religions and governments of Europe. You see? It's the same motherfuckers that's why I put the video up about last Battle of Europa. Showing you the synagogue of Satan, how they were ruining the good stuff in Europe, trying to get it to be all fucked up and stuff. That's why they're bringing in the Muslims to Europe now. The hairy motherfuckers. Same ones that kept invading the Indians or whatever, and that's why China's trying to attack India. You see what I'm saying? But at the same time, they want to get rid of the Muslims altogether in every deity, every kind of religion, because any kind of belief in God will probably lead you to God. You see what I'm saying? There's a lot of Muslims that get, running to Jesus and stuff. It's just about the love of God. When you love Him, He'll come and make us home with you. Like, I wasn't some devout Christian since I was young. I went to church and stuff when I was young. I wasn't baptized until I really knew God was real, and that was like later in my life. And then, like, it really opened up the floodgates, I tell you that. They wasn't lying when they say they're, like, signing you up for a war. When you're signing that baptism thing, you're signing up for war. If you read it, you'll see what I'm saying. And, yeah, it's something else, man. But basically, like, I started manifesting reality, all this stuff, and then kept getting all these messages to return to source. And then gravity shifted on me one day because we manifested reality. And then it stopped. It felt like the whole planet got up and started moving to the side, which it probably did because all the stuff that happened after all this new stuff happened, popping in the heavens and stuff. Common element, and all that kind of stuff. Extinction level event and all that, They just didn't know how it really worked. They thought it was going to be complete destruction, but it wasn't. And then, later on I learned, the only source I had was God, Jesus Christ, since I was young, and I liked Him since I was young. So I started checking out, read the Bible, and I was like, oh shit, they're teaching them how to manifest reality. They're talking about if you believe, you can make anything happen, blah, blah, blah. It's true. And I was like, wow, there's actually some deep truth in here. So I started to look for other stuff I didn't already know. Learned all kinds of stuff, and then learned who I was, and it's just a long story. Those who love Him, He'll make His home with them. And I love them probably more than anybody else, man. That's all I'm going to say about it, and still do. So, yeah. And then who fucking made the Illuminati? Who founded it? This ugly fucking piece of shit. Ugly as shit, man. Looks like a goddamn animal. I remember I used to see these people walking around with this hair and these wide hips, and the weird skinny bodies, and then their shoulders are so wide and their arms are so long. They look like monsters to me. They really did. When they're walking around with that straight animal hair, they look like monsters to me. Like you ever watch what was that shit? Dusk to Dawn? You see those kind of monsters? They look all feminine. They always look like that. This is a feminine thing going on. Like, because Cain, who they all seem to be related to, him and his mom was doing sex to proliferate, so they got overly feminized. That's why Africa has such overly big hips. Might not even have nothing to do with apes, as far as like how they have that gait. Like Zion Williams, he can't even jump for shit because apes ain't meant to jump. They ain't even supposed to be on their legs. They're supposed to be on all fours. And they got straight hair and all that kind of shit. You see what I'm saying? It's wild, man. That's why the Asians are so like that, like as well. Like, and they're the biggest atheist group on the planet, and that's why they don't want no religious there, because they're already owned by the communists who are really Marxists, who are really Luciferians. We're really just monsters. I mean, what's the most scariest fucking thing on the planet right now? What's the most monstrous thing on the planet? These fucking things. Literally monsters, bro. Got alien technology and every fucking thing. It's fucking scary shit, bro. He was a German one, and he was a Jew. And a Jesuit. Jewish, converted to so-called converted to Christianity. They always pretend like they're Christians, but they're not. They're really in that other shit. And he made the Illuminati German and Jewish. Not a good combination. Alright, so let's see. Let me show you another video of the second son. That should like let you know like how real things are. There goes sun going down. I remember making this video and talking about that video I just showed you, which was my actual footage of the second son. Back then I didn't do screen recording. That's why I had that shitty camera looking at it. And that camera I had didn't even have an aimer. Oh yeah, this is kind of interesting. Yeah. 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 And I've seen that in a dream where it's like going through portals. And you see how they use the darkness to hide it? And at the same time, the chemtrails are up there blocking, what is it? Like everything up there because they got the barium, strontium, copper. They burn blue, green, and red. And that basically makes it so that they can make it look like whatever. There's layers up there. And these things, I saw it in a dream. It's actually one star. It's not two stars. And what you're seeing with those lights is the light of the one star. It got captured by the gravity, I'm assuming, of these portals. Because I saw in my dream, it was just off the edge of the earth. I didn't know about flat earth back then, so it scared the fuck out of me. Because I was thinking, we're going to get raped by this thing. Because it was moving so fast between those portals that you literally can't see with your eyes. I could see with my third eye, though, like, it was pretty open even back then. Not like it is now, but those sort of work. I don't even think it has to do with your third eye so much, like to see this kind of stuff. Your third eye has to do with more manifesting stuff, like and having everything subjected to you. So it's like basically a part of you, like you can control it. That's why only I have it, basically. And then this thing right here, like I think like when you're dreaming, it has more to do with like your pineal gland and your that kind of stuff. So I was able to see it back then too. And I ain't gonna lie, as it was opening up, like I ain't gonna lie, the main times I opened it was like through meditation or if I was like, aroused for a very long time. Because when you're aroused, your energy is welling up, and you're on the growth side. That's why they always show that aroused penis and stuff, because of the great power in it. There's great power in it. Like when you're aroused and you don't ejaculate, if you ejaculate, you're wasting energy. But the whole brain fires together. Like I told you, that's how you manifest reality. The whole brain and everything working together, it's just synergized. That's why they're trying to take the fun out of fucking sex and the orgasm out of life, and trying to get rid of men's libido and trying to keep us separate. Men and women would be doing some serious energy exchange and boosting of each other like God intended them to do. But, the devil's trying to keep us separated, especially the black man. That's why he came for our women, because they were helping us in the civil rights movement. We were all together, and he changed it so after that, black women could be more wealthy being single and just taking your kid, getting child support and shit, and all these other things, and being actually with the man. It's really disgusting. And that's why they're just trying to break up the family in general, all races. You see what I'm saying? Because, like I said, like there's good and bad in everything. And they're trying to get the good out of every race. The God men out of the white race, the God men out of the Latin race, the God men out of the black race, the God men out of the brown race, the God men out of the Asian race. You see what I'm saying? They target them. I'm not racist, bro. I'm mixed with everything. I'm even part Asian. Like I was dating this Vietnam woman. She thought I was Asian until she saw me at the pool. You see what I'm saying? Because she gave me an offer to be a one-night stand or be her friend. So I thought I'd be her friend and try and just seduce her, and being my girlfriend. Because I actually liked her, And she was a good woman, like she really was. But she wasn't ready for me like most were. This world, they're just not ready for me, bro. Like someone like me, it's gonna be damn near impossible. I'm just like Walter Still Chamberlain, but not like his stature physically, but like mentally and spiritually. Like I'm just on the whole league of my own. And they literally changed the finish line just to stop me. Like I said, when I graduated, they literally went to Iraq. Then they wouldn't even hire me nowhere. Especially once I knew who I was, and not who I was about the truth. I met Morpheus. They wouldn't hire me anymore after that. And then, so I started making YouTube. I started making YouTube videos after that because I knew a lot of stuff from Morpheus. He gave me a big head start on y'all. Like this stuff, he taught me right off the bat. Like this is like, I met him way back in like 2005 or something like that. Like I was way ahead of y'all. So I started making videos around 2011 because I was really getting the grasp of it. Then the YouTube was starting to get going. And like there was all this stuff about me on, this woman made this prophecy that there's going to be this new ministry. I predicted a Boston bombing where Obama really got impeached that day, but nobody made any actions on it. So Obama impeached all those people that impeached him. And then you guys wonder why you're in the situation you are. Because nobody acted on it. Like some people did their job, but not other parts did their job. You see what I'm saying? Everybody got to fire together though. Just like with the rapture, just like anything, we have to be in agreement. We have to work together. But anyways, let me just continue. Let me show you some more great stuff. So that's the sun I saw going through the portals. It's really amazing. Yeah, this is all old to me now. And then here I'm going to show you how light manifests what's hidden. This is why I'm called the Lamb of God. The light really lights my forehead because of the way my energy is there and luminous. Like the Bible said, you be like me because of my outpouring of spirit affecting you. At first I was doing it just to do it for myself. And then later on I realized it was affecting the world and making other people that are related, that have things in common with me, have the same effect. And you see how this always is 2 or 4. Fusion, and that's why in the Hinduism they always have 2. Really 4 is representing the 2 people together. Like, and the 2 is just the individual. But once you get the 4, you got the 4 spirits of God, you see. That's why he's got 4 horns, you see. That's the full evolution. And they're curling and doing all this cool stuff. I got to think about this a little bit more. And that's what the shofar is. The shofar is one of these horns. That's why you blow it, because it's important. And then the resonance of it is important. The reason I have a horn on my front is because of resonance. That's how great Morpheus. I was talking to him about it. And he was like, "Oh, that's because of the sounds that your brain is making and stuff." That's how brilliant this guy is. I'm telling you. Even though I have all this power and stuff, and in some ways I know more than him, some ways, this guy can talk to me about anything. I'll come in with anything, and he'll still be like, "Yeah, this is Morpheus, bro." Like, the Morpheus character, he looks almost just like my dad. My dad looks a little better, like, personally, in my opinion. And then, like, the movie when he had a son, Lawrence Fishburne, he had a son, it was like Bad Boys or something like that. Like, where they was in this hood, Boys in the Hood or something. Yeah, that's my life, bro. That's my life, bro. And that's my dad. He's like this really well, like my family is really well, educated. They hate smart people. And my dad was Howard. All my uncle Howard, my aunt Howard, and tells you DC area. And dad's actually an architect, just like Jesus and them all being not architects, but like it's people that work on carpenters and stuff. My uncle's a carpenter. Not the one I was just talking about on my mother's side. He was a carpenter. He doesn't seem to be that significant though. But yeah, like the reason I had his horns is because it's a sound resonance thing, and they're gonna change and evolve, and that's why if you pay attention to the way your brow is shaped, it's shaped like how that ram's horn was. It kind of does that curl. But I was like, this is like showing like these 2 main little beginning horns. But you can see how it kind of intertwines into the veins and all that. Does that curling thing. And my eyes are highly reflective. The reason I made this video wasn't even to show all this. After I made the video, I realized all this. The light was showing me it. I didn't even know it was there. And basically, let me continue. But this, because I'm talking in this video too. I should have probably gone to the actual video that I'm showing right here. This is us. Come on, baby. Alright, let me just do this. It's gonna take forever a while. And then basically from there I go to, because I was just talking, I was trying to explain things to people. And now I have this. You can see those horns though? Nope. Because this light reveals things. It's all about how it hits the person. Yeah, I had my face all messed up. I got that part pushed in, crooked nose, fucking hole right here, some other shit. Used to really look fantastic, to be honest. I was getting hit. I used to get looked at by grown ass women when I was a little kid, bro. But you see how mine's different from hers? But you see how you can't see it right here? You see this? Totally invisible. Because it's a light-based thing, you see? That's amazing. Like, I'm gonna show you the video proof of me going, like, playing around to make it disappear. And the craziest thing about this is they say there's like a tilt to the eye where it's like a little bit tilt to the one side. You see how it does that kind of? It almost looks like a crescent moon, now that I think about it. That's kind of crazy. If it is a crescent moon shape, that would be amazing. But yeah, like right here, you can also see like this third eyelid I have. It's transparent. That's what I was really trying to show. Not with this right here. I'm trying to show something else with. When I say I was trying to show that, I was trying to show that with here. Usually it shows with the reflection of light. Like in this video, I was like pulling the camera towards my eyes and then away from my eyes so you can see. And so you can see the reflection. And I revealed a lot more than I thought I was going to reveal. But I learned a lot. Like it says, teaching benefits the teacher. And then there's another one where it's visible, but it's not visible here. Just to show you, I was just showing you I did not punch myself in the center of my forehead. Because if I did, I would have, it would be visible right there, you see? And then, this is it again. My angle where it shows. Yeah, I got a lot of scars. I've had a lot of shit happen to me in my life. The devils they've been trying to kill me over and over and over again, bro. You have no idea how many times. I've been dead twice. The first time I died, I saw like a whole bunch of channels basically flying by. And then I basically chose one. You see? Invisible. Visible. Disappear. Reappear. Look how reflective I am to the light. And you see how reflective this is on my eye right here? See? It's a transparent cat third eyelid. They always said, they say that they wonder why humans don't have a third eyelid. They should. That's what they were saying. And the reality of the case is I do have a third eyelid. Yes, I want to continue watching. Thank you for trying to be my nanny. That's what I hate about robots. And this is why you don't want them having any control of you. I've had this dream where I actually ended up having some machinery in me just so God could show me, because I'm not going to take it, how bad it is to be controlled. And it was horrible. It was like a lot of things I couldn't do that I wanted to do, and the machine was like controlling me. Really horrible, man. See how it appears just based on the light? That's so crazy, bro. That is absolutely crazy. It still blows my mind, bro. I'm like my biggest fan. I ain't gonna lie. I really am. I'm my biggest fan, bro. This is unbelievable. And it really insults me. That's why it says that that he did all these things and they didn't give him his glory, man. It just makes me so sad, bro. And then I was just showing how I do that. All these events happen over and over again. It's a lot of them. Literally just me scrolling down for minutes and minutes and minutes. And that's just one of the playlists. I have several playlists of events that I create, or events of my prophecy, or things I predicted, or whatever. I name all kinds of things. And then there's my old page where I had, oh my God, I had so much more stuff on that page. It's not even funny, man. Alright, so yeah. Man, my God, that's why I have horns. And it is my Daily Motion page where you can see I have a lot of footage. And then this is like that extra star I was showing you in that other video the other day that's still towing this massive thing that I saw behind it on Earth in one of the videos I had, but they got rid of all my shit. So, just got the few things that I uploaded on here because I stopped continuing to upload the rest of my stuff, as you can tell, because my page is still up to like 2016. So I missed there's a lot of the better stuff because I kept getting better and better at it. And they made sure that got rid of. And I actually had Mike Tyson following me on my Google Plus. Didn't know it. Him, Mr. BB, Enter the Stars actually brought me up. That's why you see I had him in my earlier videos, part 1 of the series. And he was one of the few people to mention me. Only a man of color. You know why? Because we're on the same vibe. I've literally met this guy in person, in spirit, and I saw what he looked like before I ever saw him. He showed his face on the channel. He was literally the guy that gave me my crown. Like, I was in Israel with him. I recognized it later on. Like, and he's a strong guy too. He loves his food. But yeah, like in some other world or something, he'd give me a crown. And like, he taught me a lot, but at the same time, the one that's in this realm, based on what I can tell, isn't exactly him. And, like this white woman, what a surprise, a white woman. He loves white women. I remember I was in jail, and he literally came to visit me in spirit. And I think he was like in a spaceship or something. And he had white women with him. He loves white women. He tried to, let me use one of them or whatever. And I found, like, I was just laughing because, like, I remember this white woman that he made a moderator, and he started hanging out with Dabu77 and all these other big channels, and that's when we stopped really being good friends. Like, I could message him and get him to, like, the fucking white woman, because I was telling people who I am, it's his channel, she would ban me. Because she don't want nobody talking about gods, you know what I mean? Now I know why. I didn't know back then. I thought she was just being some stuck-up Christian that didn't understand the information, but now I know she was just a devil. She was a fucking devil there to divide me and Casey, man. And shit pisses me off to this fucking day. Because that's the guy that gave me the crown, man. Like, I think he's somebody biblical, man. He's somebody biblical. But to this day, I still believe it. And before I even knew Trump was trash, I knew he was Saul 2.0. But I didn't know he was a pure enemy damn near. But, my boy Casey saw that even before me, man. Like, he's just like Morpheus, someone that's actually able to give me something, to add something to my picture. But anyway, so, yeah, this is that footage I just showed you. I got it from off here. This one's crazy because I was singing. And it was like darkening and brightening along with my singing. I couldn't sing for shit back then. I sing much better now. I'll probably actually make a video of me singing. I gotta get a better microphone though, so I can pick up my audio properly. And then I'm including those big giant comments. And then when this happened, like there was like as you can see, an X35 flare, or what they call a Super X 3.5 flare, the biggest ever flare. And then what they started doing was nerfing it. They were already nerfing it, but I made such a huge improvement because I was pushing it real hard back then, that, that's what occurred. A super flare, like, and I was assuming it was coming from this extra star based on what I was seeing, or it was from this one, the galactic center itself, or maybe that one that's towing it. Like, that's a chariot. That's not even a Earth, a known star. And that came in with iSun, having iSun and all that kind of stuff. So I had a lot of footage of it. It's just, wasn't high quality shit. But to me, it was just trying to get this breaking information out. You know what I mean? Like, to me, it was really important that people got this information. I didn't care if it didn't look perfect, And, you've already seen this crazy shit right here. And then this pissed me off. As soon as I posted this, unpopular opinion, man. As soon as I posted it, literally, it was automatically Yeah, I put it like that just because I wanted to be, get people to look at it, and I mean that's the reality of the case, though. Um, and as soon as I did that, I guess because they have this shit as some kind of like trigger. Like literally, as soon as I posted it, that's what happened. I mean, I would try it again right now, but I don't feel like going to this shoot. I type it in because as soon as I could do this. I just copy it right here. Watch, let me show you. Let me show you what happens. I don't want to give it the big. Watch what happens. Watch this shit. Yeah, right. How did I do the other post though? How did I do the other post? You see? They changed they changed the rules around just for me. You see this shit? That's how powerful I am, bro. Like I was just telling y'all, they changed this shit around just for me. Like literally, after I got done not doing any work doing YouTube, this is unbelievable. Just like they did the Wilt Still Chamberlain, bro. When you're that OP, they changed the rules literally just to stop you, bro. Like they keep changing the goddamn finish line, man. I don't even believe this world is real, bro. It's based on how much they cater to the whole goddamn world to stopping just me. Like it's unfucking believable, bro. Like the amount of stuff they do just to stop me. Like, oh my god. Ugh. It's just annoying, man. That's why I can't reach nothing. They did all that shit just to stop me, literally. Like, I was reaching too many people at first on YouTube. Because people at first on YouTube, you can find people based on, like, if a really popular page is following you. Like, I had a lot of them following me and liking my stuff. So when they would do that, people that were following them would see it. That's how I found a lot of stuff, was from people liking stuff, and I would look at it. But a lot of people that were famous were looking at my channel. So I had a pretty good following because of that. You know what? Let me just show you. You see? And I'm pretty sure I'll have my picture up so you'll know it's me. This is when I was at my other house. Because they literally got me kicked out of the house. My whole family betrayed me and shit. Got me thrown in jail. My brother asked me for a fight because it's Cain. I'm the younger brother. And he asked me for a fight. You see I was only 700 and something thousand? Let me show you how they hid that shit. You see this? You see this? These are views, bro. Millions of goddamn views. It was actually like 5 million. Like I said, it changes. And then they delete it. I'd never seen this happen to anybody else, dude. This is the kind of shit they do to me, bro. This is how desperate they are to stop me, bro. And then sometimes it shows that they deleted subscribers, too. And I remember some of these little cracker-ass demons coming to my page, making fun of me like, oh, your page is so dead. Well, it's because they're targeting me more than they target anybody else. And how the fuck I'm doing all this shit not viral by that? Because all these fuckers not fucking supported, man. We're a few people here, man, that are real. That's why I don't even take no offense that only a few people get this shit. You see what I'm saying? That's how real this shit is, bro. That was me in my other house. Like I said, my brother asked me for a fight and all this shit. Agreed not to press charges, but he was a part of the system. So the cop didn't arrest me because he was a man of color. And everybody told him that he was drinking, and he asked for the fight, even though I didn't want to fight him or whatever. He was asking me to fight for like 20 minutes, bringing up all this shit about my past and stuff. And I was like, you know what? I'm gonna bust your ass, man. Basically, what I did was I punched him one time on his jaw. I'm literally one punch, man. I broke his jaw, shattered his teeth, didn't even know it. And I grabbed him, threw his ass down, hit him 2 times in his ribs, broke 3 of his ribs, punctured his lungs, and he almost died because of that. That's all I fucking. Well, I hit him one more time and he was out. And you know, but most of the damage was done with just 3 hits. And because he really just doesn't understand who I am. You know what I mean? Like, well, he's a devil. He was literally like trying to kill me like the whole time. Like he was stomping my room, all kinds of shit. It's horrible. Like, cause you see him in the basement. I literally had a gang stalking video where I went up and tried to talk to this fool who thinks he's Latino more than anything. He speaks real good Latin because he identifies more with my mother. I tell y'all, whoever opens the womb, whoever the first one to open is gonna take after the mother. That's why God says to have that person give an order to God, so that basically they won't be so easily taken over by the devil. And my brother, he basically, what did he do? He's just really like, my mom's very fair skinned. She's got green eyes. Like I told you, she even told me, like, if you know the story of Dark Souls, you'll know who his mother is. You see what I'm saying? And there's literally like a Gnostic book talking about how there'd be this like so-called like a Nephilim / God being that's like kind of like in the middle, and that's what they talk about Shiva as kind of like a little bit of a mix. But he leads towards the good, and that's why I'm called Emmanuel at that point. That's why I made that post on my Twitter about Emmanuel being a factor now. And but literally the beasts out of the bottomless pit are making war with me, trying to get rid of me right now, just like the Bible said they would. And I mean, I feel like I've basically been hit with the HIV virus now. I don't know. I just don't be. I don't know. I feel normal most of the time, but like since I started doing the outpouring spirit, I think they're like zapping me or something or activating it. It's been harshness on that. It's been real harsh. Like when I was making that video and I was showing you my horn, not my horn, but my third eye and stuff. I was really stressed at that point. I didn't want to take the pictures, but I felt like we're in a dire situation, so I had to do it. I had to get it out there. What? Fuck. Oh yeah. My mother. Yeah, she's kind of weird. My brother, he's weird because he took after her. He also has green eyes, really fair skin. That's why they made fun of my dad too. For some reason, I took after my grandmother on both sides. Like my grandmother on my mother's side is really dark, like because she's a Native American. Not real dark, but like darker than me though. Dark as my grandmother on the other side. My other grandma was more so African and Irish. Because like I said, she was born with red hair. My brother was born with blonde hair. You see, he had the mark. That's really the mark. I remember my uncle, he was telling me, like, he was talking about how they knew from the beginning that my brother had the mark. And like he was talking with this other guy that was a brother. And he was like, yeah, he got the mark. He was talking about it. Like, and then the other guy went and looked at him in the kitchen. He's like, yeah, he got the mark. My mom literally saw a dream before my brother was born that he was a fucking alien, a little goddamn alien, and he pissed on him. And his piss was like acid. And I was like, Mom, he's evil. He's been trying to kill me for years. Like, it's so fucking crazy, bro. Like, really just stomp on my room every time I try to pray, meditate. That's how I started catching on to the pattern. Like, he would do it every fucking time like a goddamn puppet. And he became such a puppet that once I got, there was an angel that came to me and was like, you're gonna be delivered. Every one of them would do it, by the way. All of them, like everybody in the house, they would take turns. And it's a blessing that guy out there, to be honest. They was trying to kill my ass, bro. Like, it was moldy basement, but they wouldn't fix the goddamn mold for some reason, even though the rich is all hell. Like, you wouldn't even believe it. Like, they own like 8 houses. And my aunt, like, she's trying to take it all. She thought she was married to Prince. Like, they crazy as fuck. My grandpa was a Mason. So you see, yeah, he looks like Mr. Miyagi, but blackish, but not black at all. He's pale as all hell, like super pale. Like, I be thinking I'm adopted for real, for real. I be really thinking I'm adopted. But I look a lot, pretty good amount like my dad. Pretty good. And I look a lot like my mother. Like, well, at least I did before my face got all messed up. She looked like a light-skinned Tyra Banks with green eyes and stuff. And what else? So that's why I don't get along. They all had the mark. They're all fair skin. I got along with my grandma pretty good. She was trying, she was always nice to me, but she was a part of it too. She was CIA. My aunt was CIA. That's why they kind of worked together. And she's there, like, totally manipulating my grandma now, trying to make sure she get all the money, all the houses. She was in my grandma's account, buying houses and shit, like making her broke. And now she literally got literally karma is so real, bro. After this angel came to me, like maybe a year before I got kicked out, they're basically delivered from there. It was hell there. But I didn't think I had any really where else to go. They wouldn't let me get no work. That's why they do that. Make sure you can't get no work, no nothing. And I'm looking at these trash people around me like, they got work, I can't get no work. Like, had a clean record that whole time until that shit with my so-called brother. He's a damn demon. He's a devil, man. He was gonna be a problem. Like, I literally, I don't even want to talk about it. He's hurt my mom real bad. I protected her one time when he tried it in front of me, and then I told her not to be around him, and he beat her up when I wasn't around. And they were still willing to go to court because my brother almost died to witness against me, all of them. When he's done harming them, I've done nothing. I fought for him. You know what I mean? Like, never laid a hand on any of them. He'd be threatening them all kinds of stuff. And then what happened after that? So basically, an angel came to me while I was in the basement. He had me paralyzed, and he was all light, just pure light. And I could make out his shape. He was human, and he had me paralyzed. And I was strong enough just to look over to see him with my neck. I could just do that much. I couldn't move my body though. And he was like, "You're going to be delivered." Like, I can't even copy it. Like, he started out real slow, so it was like he was trying to slow down so I could hear him, understand him, because he talks really fast. And then all the rest of the words gradually got faster and faster. After he was like, "You're gonna," you know what I mean? He just, as soon as he started, he was already kind of going fast, like as fast as I could probably go, and then he got even faster, but I could still understand it somehow. And he said, "You're gonna be delivered." And then, yeah, I did. I got out of there, and then literally as soon as I got out of there, all the shit they did to me happened to them. It's an evil aunt who I saw like in a dream. It's like a predator, literally like a predator out of the Predator movie. And she came in there, and then Zachary Wilkinson, who's a prophet, has dreams and stuff. He said that like a lot of people were gonna have that happen, and like a lot of people were moving around from where they were, and that he was seeing that there was like these predator things that were like this one guy, he saw that he was riding in this vehicle, and then this predator thing jumped on the top of the vehicle, and then right when it was about to get him, he left. And the whole time, right before I was about to move, I got forced out of there by a restraining order, and I had to spend some time in jail, and they basically ruined my future. What happened? She was coming by there a lot. Like, she started coming by more often. And then basically she waited till I left, and everybody, even my so-called brother, was like, "Man, I shouldn't have got you out of there, man. I'm pretty sure he just wanted me there so he could try and kill me or leech off me or something." But he literally tried for 10 fucking years, bro. Even though I had prayed and got him a job, making like 30, 40, 50 a year, just working like 4 hours a day. Ridiculous. And like he's just jealous, man. They're always fucking jealous, bro. And it wasn't a small dick complex, I'll tell you that. And my brother's a crazy person, so he actually showed it to me before. And he's one of those. That's why he has an easier time even than me meeting women, because he's a shower. I'm the type that I look like I'm like 5, like 4 inches or something like that when I'm soft. When I got hard, like 10 inches. You already know. So like the women don't know, like, they don't really know me unless I like wearing swimming trunks or something. Then they can kind of tell, but even then they don't know. But Like, this girl I've been talking to, I don't really want to really fuck with her no more. Like, when she saw my picture, I sent her a picture. She was like, dude. She's like, give me another. Oh man, I swear that's their favorite body part, man. That and the lips. I was looking at some lips too. I'll tell you, I was fantastically good looking before my face got all fucked up. Like everybody, like wanted me to be a supermodel and shit, but I don't want to be a supermodel because maybe I could do it now, but I didn't want to do it before because I didn't want nobody seeing me sexualized. Like none of my family members, I didn't want to, see me that way, especially not my grandmother. But I don't know, maybe I could, I don't know. I'm not really in that kind of shit though. I'm 6'2". My grandmother, the Indian one, my mother's mother, she looked like Sean Connery, but like a female version. Like how Sean Connery has like nice features, but she looked like that, but a little darker and like had nice moles and stuff like that. And she was really but better featured because she's a female, obviously. But that's the only person I've seen that looks anything like her. Was Sean Connery, and she was gorgeous, man. I remember I saw my grandma. There's certain female models that look like her. Like I can't remember I can't think of any off the top of my head, but they have that particular look. She was so gorgeous. My grandma looks better than my mother in my opinion. Even though my mother looked like Tyra Banks, like she looked better. And my grandpa, he was badass. He looked like identical to me when he was younger, but I couldn't tell when I saw him older. But when he was younger, he looked identical to me. I thought he was my mom's boyfriend or something, some hidden boyfriend. But he was really. I was like, Mom, who's that? One of your boyfriends? She was like, nah, because he was in the military. He was in World War II. He somehow survived it, even though he had the hardest job in the war. Where he basically, what did he do? He had to fucking, how like they would attack the people that were doing the supply ships in the sea. He had to do that job. He had to the survival rate of that ship was so low. That dude had balls of steel. So him and my dad, they hit it off because they're both really like, military types, like really strict and, kind of, assholes basically. Doing their serious thing. I'm more like laid back and realistic, And, let's see what. But I was like, yo, that's him? Because when he got older, he was looking like a pure Cuban. Like, he no longer had that melanin. Like, he didn't have that nice brown color like I have. He did when he was younger. Well, my dad's kind of having that issue, too. When he was younger, he was actually probably a little darker than me. But because he was a paratrooper and a lieutenant artillery officer in charge of Cold Wars during, the nuclear warheads inside those missiles. He doesn't want me telling nobody, but it was in the movies. That's what he says when he decides to stop being an asshole about it. And there is no missile division. There's an artillery division. But anyways, I don't know why I'm even talking about that. Y'all pretty much get my story. Like, y'all know what we're dealing with now. I'm just trying to let y'all know about who I am. I mean, you guys should already understand this is no bullshit right here. Just trying to let y'all know, a little about me. This is the only chance I'm probably gonna have to talk to y'all. I don't know when my hour's gonna come. They're literally they're trying to kill us, bro. Like, I don't know how long we're gonna survive. I literally was having issues. Like, I had to literally treat this shit. Like, and my dad was dumb enough to get the vaccine, and that's not helping. He's so fucking strong. He survived without getting any symptoms. Like, motherfucker's strong. Like, he's almost 70 years old, and he could do fucking 60 push-ups without stopping. I can't even do 60 push-ups without stopping. Like, because when he was the track star, he could outrun anybody. He used to run laps around the special forces, and he used to do football too, but he got injured. I also got injured from playing football. That's where I got this part pushed in, and it was like it used to be more like a ridge coming up instead of pushed in. And later on, I got some other stuff like elbow when I was playing basketball and some other shit where this got pushed to the side, and it's all wide and lumpy now. But But anyways, what else happened? Like, he used to run laps around the motherfucker. So he was, oh man, badass, bro. But my thing was in high school, I taught martial arts. And then later on, I was always doing basketball. Then later on, I realized how talented I was at basketball. And then realized how people were just afraid of me because I was 6'2" and stuff. And how that I was actually tall enough to play in the NBA. Because I looked at people like Jordan, and they're just dunking so fucking easily. I mean, I can barely dunk at 6'2". I just learned how to dunk last year, right when COVID hit. And it was this first summer. That's when I learned how to dunk. I was so mad because I couldn't really, do it. And then they sent some gang members in my area to try and jump me at the court. And I got, they did jump me. And so I didn't get to go back to that one court that I had to go to. And so I couldn't make videos of me dunking. And now, this year, they've been fucking with me so much. I had to kind of got to build myself back up a little bit. Ever since I started doing this shit at the beginning of April, they've been coming at me real hard. Like I told you about how they come after Shiva, and that's when we're doing this kind of stuff. And I'm just trying to adjust to the new load that I'm putting out. It's like constantly exercising. That's how it feels. Like everything you do goes to your heart. That's why they know what's the target in my heart. Because they know that I got so much power flowing through it. And that's why Shiva gets so pissed off when he's meditating and someone interrupts him. Because it's like, imagine you have all weight that's heavier than the cosmos itself. The cosmos itself is expanding constantly because my power is constantly expanding it. And that's why it says that God expands he spreads out the firmament, all the heavens itself, as a tent to dwell in. See this? And basically, when I got that kind of power flowing through me, if somebody just halts it with some fucking bullshit and tries to bring me out of that to the negative, oh my god, it's so annoying. I'm used to it kind of now, but because I literally get it constantly now. But it used to really annoy me when I get it just every once in a while. But I literally get it constantly now. That's why you'll see me, I always got headphones on, man. I think I even had headphones on in this little picture right here. It looks like something sticking off my ear right there. Yep. And hair like wool, eyes like fire, man. I already showed you the fire eyes. As you can tell, I'm always evolving, man. I'm even the Prince of all Saiyans. You see the little widow's peak I got? I remember when I saw Vegeta, I was like, this dude really symbolic of both sides of me. There's that underestimated side of me, and then there's that actual royal side of me. Like Vegeta's well known, Goku's not. For example, I'll put it like this: Saitama is really not well known, and they think he's cheating. People probably think, people don't really believe me. I tell them doing all these things that's unbelievable, but it's real. Y'all can tell. And but then there's the guy that's like Genos. Genos is symbolic sometimes to me of Jesus. Basically, he's well known. He's really successful. He's more intelligent than me. He can do everything. He's just so much more well-rounded. But at the end of the day, I really am that rock. You know what I mean? And the reason that he has the hair like that when he gets the power is because it's related to Buddhism. That's really all it has to do with it. I'm not, it is kind of interesting that I cut my hair instead of keeping it long like I've been doing this whole time. And then all this happens at the same time. Because I literally was looking like a monk for a little while. And then I think about TN and all that kind of stuff. And I was just like, man, this is crazy, bro. You see my eyes? Look how they look like fire, dude. How they react to the light. And they look like they're glowing, man. I swear I'm my biggest fan, dude. I really enjoy talking about this. It really destroys me that it's just so sad to me that nobody really gets it, man. That nobody really gets it. But I'm getting more views on BitChute, so it's motivating me again to actually, do some good videos. And really all I have to do is some rehashes of some old shit, because I've already been saying what's going on. But now that I know about these, who the seed of Satan is, things are very different. I have to sit back and reflect upon it. I have to really reflect upon it and see what I have to do. I'm thinking about just burning them. I didn't want to do that. I accidentally did that in the past because I used a UV light, and I made a command that basically UV light would be everywhere. Because you know how if I do it to myself and I use my power, it will share it to everything. And then like I saw Jennifer Lopez immediately. She was on the show, and her face was sunburnt. Her face is sunburnt, man. And she was yelling like, "Oh, we have to get rid of Trump." And then Trump literally had some reporters inside of a whatchamacallit, like this room where he had the light, the window blocked with black color covering, and so he was literally hitting them with UV light. I was like, man, this guy, like, either he's watching everything I do, he probably was, and trying to mimic me or something, or like, he was kind of holy. Like, that's why I always look at him as Saul 2.0 from the beginning. He's always kind of off, but just like Saul was like off like that. But he was the people's champion, and because they didn't believe in me, I was doing all this stuff. Nobody wanted me. Nobody wanted to wait for me. Nobody wanted me. And that's why when that one guy was making the predictions about how Trump would do all this stuff, and obviously it's not right. He was talking about me. Like, he was saying, oh, they were talking about David, but they didn't want him because he was too young. Is Trump too young? No, I am. I'm too young to be president. And that's all y'all care about. You don't understand about, I could just lead you. Just like Martin Luther King led people. But better. Even better. And, yeah. So, but, I mean, if they did it to Jesus, I mean, I already understand why I was thrown under the bus and all that shit. It's pretty obvious. Alright, y'all. Pretty much got the big picture now. I gotta do some reflection now. I'll catch you later.